My child, stop scrolling. This is not just another video. This is me, speaking, right now, directly to you. And child, only the chosen will feel the weight of what I'm about to say. There's a frequency in this word that only awakened hearts can hear. And if you're here, it's because your spirit is tuned in. You didn't click by chance. I drew you here because something is about to break open in your life, and this message holds the key. Don't blink. Don't skip. Don't silence what's meant to stir you awake. Watch until the final breath of this word, because every moment is soaked in my glory and laced with your instruction. I'm not just revealing truth. I'm marking destinies. And yours is one of them. So listen carefully, because once this begins, you'll never be the same again. My beloved child, pause everything right now. There's something holy trying to press through the veil, and it has your name carved into it. You did not stumble onto this word. You were summoned. This isn't just another moment. This is a divine collision point between your past obedience and my present unveiling. I have watched you carry things that crushed others. I've seen you fight in silence while appearing composed. While others danced in the daylight of applause, you learned how to breathe in the midnight of misunderstanding. But here's the mystery, and only the chosen will understand it. I was in the hiddenness. I was forming something in your depths that could only be born in isolation. They thought you were being overlooked, but I was setting you apart. What they saw as delay, I called divine incubation. You are not invisible to me. You never were. You are not behind. You are in alignment. And this message, it is not a generic encouragement. It is the sound of heaven identifying you in the crowd, not because of performance, but because of posture. I have waited for this very moment to release something that could only be entrusted to one who refused to let go even when nothing made sense. That's why your spirit leapt the moment you read the title, not because of curiosity, but because of recognition. Something deep within you knows this is not surface level. This is sacred. You've been carrying questions that didn't have words. You've been walking with a weight no one else could explain. And now, I speak to that ache, the one you silenced in order to function. I didn't choose you because you had strength. I chose you because you surrendered when strength ran out. You kept praying after the prophecy felt stale. You kept walking when the road seemed to disappear. You worshipped me in whispers when your soul was unraveling. And that kind of faith, that kind of holy desperation, that's what separates the chosen. That's what makes this moment yours. The world won't understand why this resonates so deeply, but that's because it wasn't meant for them. I'm not speaking in broad strokes. I'm drawing a sharp, clear line around your life. This word is etched into the DNA of your destiny, and only those who've bled in secret places, only those who've waded through winters without proof, will feel the full weight of what I'm declaring right now. My beloved, come close, closer than your doubts, closer than your insecurities, closer than the noise that clutters your mind. I want you to hear what only the chosen can carry. You've been marked, not merely identified, not casually noticed, marked, branded with heaven's ink, engraved with glory, etched in the divine archives before your first breath. This mark is not visible to those who look with natural eyes, but in the unseen, it glows with a radiance that makes darkness tremble. You've been walking into rooms and shifting atmospheres without knowing why. People sense something they can't name. Some draw near with honor, others shrink back with discomfort. But neither response defines your identity. You're not too much. You're not too different. You're just anointed. You're sacred in a world that worships the superficial. And that's why you've been misunderstood. Not because there's something wrong with you, but because there's something profoundly right, something holy that won't bend to common labels. You've questioned, haven't you? You've looked in the mirror and wondered why you can't seem to blend in like they do, why your spirit feels allergic to compromise, why your convictions burn even in silence. I'll tell you why, child. Because I wrote something eternal into your soul. I breathed divine contradiction into your being. You carry tension, not confusion, the tension of being heavenly in a human world. That ache inside you. It's not dysfunction, it's destiny. It's the sound of eternity echoing through mortal corridors. And I want you to know, what makes you misunderstood by many is what makes you understood by me. I recognize you when no one else does. I see beyond the outer appearances, the forced smiles, the rehearsed answers. I see the sacred fire beneath the fatigue. I see the obedience that rises before dawn and wrestles after midnight. And I tell you this, you've been chosen for what can't be taught, only entrusted. You are a mystery to many, but a masterpiece in my hands. And this is why the warfare has never matched your surroundings. This is why the battles you fought in secret have seemed disproportionate to the life you live in public. Because what you're carrying is not small. It's not seasonal. It's not ordinary. The resistance you face is not because you're doing something wrong. It's because you've been doing something right, something rare. You've been hosting the holy while navigating the heavy. You've been carrying oil in a world that trades it for applause. And that oil, it's not for sale. It's not for validation. It's for the assignment. You've been marked with the fragrance of endurance, anointed with the essence of surrender. And now, the heavens are leaning low, not just to watch, but to move. I've dispatched angels not just to protect you, but to announce you. Not to elevate your name, but to execute my plan through your yielded yes. They will not understand this, and they are not meant to. Because only the chosen, only the marked, will understand what this means. So hear me, my rare one. Don't explain yourself to those who were never meant to carry your code. Don't dilute your destiny to ease their discomfort. You are not hard to love, you are holy to hold. Your silence is not weakness. It is sacred restraint. You don't need louder prayers, you need deeper roots. And you have them. I saw how you kept saying yes when no would have been easier. I watched how you stayed planted when the storm screamed, run. You weren't just enduring, you were expanding. Your roots were going deeper, your discernment was growing sharper, your anointing was thickening. And now, I am revealing what I've hidden in you all along. You were not just called, you were consecrated. That's why the misunderstanding was necessary. It was protection in disguise. If they had understood you, they would have tried to own you. But I kept you wrapped in divine mystery so I could unfold you myself, in my time, in my way, for my glory. Child, let me speak to what you think is small, those moments no one else noticed, but heaven recorded in full detail. The moments when you stopped mid-scroll, not knowing why, only to find me waiting behind a line of words. The times when your heart paused while others kept scrolling, laughing, rushing past divine invitations like they were noise. But not you. You lingered. You leaned in. You let the sentence wrap around your soul and whisper, "This is for you." You are not drawn to hype. You are drawn to holy. You don't need proof to believe. You don't wait for confirmation from the crowd. You recognize my voice before the miracle arrives. That is what it means to be chosen. You walk by spirit, not sensation. And that is why you feel things others don't feel. That's why your spirit begins to tremble before the shift is visible. You are aligned with the rhythm of heaven, not because you earned it, but because you answered it. And that is why, when others forget, you remember. You remember the whisper I gave you 5 years ago in the silence. You remember the dream I planted while others were chasing trends. You remember the time I broke you open in prayer and poured strategy into your soul. I know you've looked around and asked, why does everyone else seem to move on while I'm still waiting? But hear me, I didn't let you move on because I wasn't finished building you. The weight of your calling required the architecture of memory, not nostalgia, but spiritual recall. I trained your ears to remember the sound of my voice, so when the noise rises, you'll recognize the counterfeit. I let others forget quickly, but I sealed my word into your bones like fire. That's why you feel such weight when others shrug. That's why certain words pierce you while they glide off others. You are sensitive by design, not weak, but wired for wonder. That wiring, it's heaven's fingerprint. And you don't just feel shifts, you foresee them. Before the door opens, you're already praising. Before the breakthrough comes, your heart is already building an altar. You don't wait for applause to begin trusting. That's what sets you apart. You are not reactionary. You are prophetic. The language of the Spirit is native to you, not always explainable, but deeply familiar. That's why you've been waking up with urgency. That's why your dreams have felt weightier, more vivid. I've been preparing you, awakening you, recalibrating you to sense me in the subtle, not just the spectacular. You hear the whisper before the trumpet. You respond to the nudge before the wind. That sensitivity is not a burden. It is a blessing, a weapon, a mantle. And now, as I unfold the next chapter, the same inner discernment will be your compass. Follow it. Trust it. It is me inside you, not emotion, not coincidence, me. So, don't question your sensitivity. Don't shame your depth. Don't apologize for the ache that rises in you when others remain numb. You are designed for divine disruption. You are created to linger while others leave. That is the mark of the chosen. That is the mantle of the remnant. In this moment, this sacred monologue between us is just the beginning of what I am about to reveal through your ability to wait, to feel, to believe before you see. Because, child, only the chosen will understand what this means. And you are chosen. My beloved child, listen closely. You've been feeling something. A tension. A tightness in your chest you couldn't shake. It's sudden stirring in your spirit that kept waking you in the night, even though your body begged for sleep. That weight in the air, it's not anxiety. It's assignment. It's not confusion. It's calling. And I want you to hear me with more than your ears. Hear me with your bones. That pressure you feel pressing down on your ribcage isn't a mistake. It's the sound of purpose pressing up from the inside. You're not broken. You're being birthed. You're not overreacting. You're responding to something supernatural. That ache that lingers in silence, that isn't weakness. That's me summoning you without sound, calling you deeper without a single spoken word. I've been moving through the marrow of your soul, awakening what slumbered while you tried to survive. No, child, you're not imagining this shift. You're not misreading the signs. Heaven has begun to turn its gaze toward the earth, and your name is echoing through the chambers of alignment. You've been walking through days that feel offbeat, disconnected from normal rhythm. That's because I've been pulling you out of the predictable. I've been disrupting the familiar, because I cannot awaken destiny in a place you've grown too comfortable. I've allowed the unease to settle, not to punish, but to position. The heaviness has been my hand gently pressing on your shoulder, reminding you that there's more, not one day, not eventually, but now. I've been wrapping your heart in holy urgency because I know what's ahead. I see the assignments approaching. I see the people waiting for the word that only your voice can carry. And I couldn't let you remain in autopilot when heaven is breaking into your atmosphere. You've called it stress. You've called it pressure. But I call it preparation. I've been expanding your spirit beyond the borders of logic, past the limits of convenience. A tightness you felt is not fear. It's faith in disguise. Your soul knows something is shifting even when your mind can't explain it. And that is why I haven't allowed you to rest the same way. The sleep you've lost hasn't been wasted. It's been sacred space for me to recalibrate your awareness. I've whispered through your restlessness. I've called you through the crack in your composure. Even your sighs. Yes, every exhausted exhale has been caught by my breath, woven into the language of the spirit. You thought you were unraveling, but you were awakening. It's stirring that won't let you settle. That's me. The sudden urge to withdraw from noise, the need to be alone, the unexplained heaviness. They are not signs of burnout. They are signs of becoming. And now I speak to that fire under your skin, that friction in your chest. You are being summoned, not to a platform, not to applause, but to presence, to a sacred table I've set in secret. And only those who heed the stirring, only those who don't silence the pressure, will find the seat prepared for them. I don't summon with chaos. I summon with tension. I draw with desire. I lead with the holy ache that refuses to leave. You haven't been losing peace, child. You've been gaining proximity. The shift is real. The weight is real. And the urgency is holy. Let me say it again. You are not imagining this. You are not exaggerating this. You are hearing me, even when I haven't spoken audibly, because I've been summoning you without sound. And you answered. Beloved, allow me to uncover something now, something sacred, something raw, something only the chosen carry. There are moments, holy moments, where your soul worships in silence, not with lifted hands in a sanctuary, but with a trembling heart in your room, lit only by the faint light of a weary hope. No music, no platform, no audience. Just you, the shadows of your pain, and me. That's where you built your altar. That's where your tears became incense. They didn't see it, but I did. I saw the moments where your mouth was too tired to sing, but your breath still exhaled my name. I saw the praise you gave me through your pain, the loyalty you kept when loneliness wrapped around you like a cloak. I was there when you whispered I trust you, with tears rolling down your face and a storm raging in your chest. Heaven recorded every syllable. I recorded every sacrifice. And I didn't just see you worship. I saw you build. I watched you keep creating, keep serving, keep showing up even when your hands were bleeding. Not literally, but spiritually, you were constructing something eternal while everything around you was collapsing. You didn't wait for applause. You didn't beg for credit. You just kept hammering, kept lifting, kept planting seeds in dry soil because your faith refused to die. You wore invisible armor and wielded quiet courage, swinging against storms that no one else knew you were facing. And while others only see the outcome, I saw the offering. The cost. The long nights where you laid bricks of obedience through your exhaustion. You thought it didn't matter, but it mattered more than you know. The foundation you've been laying in hiddenness will hold the weight of what I'm about to release in the open. There are pages in heaven filled with your private surrender, volumes of unseen victories, catalogs of quiet courage. Others will only witness the breakthrough, the manifestation, the glory, but I will always remember the grit. I will never forget how you kept sowing when your soul was starved. How you kept loving when you weren't being loved in return. You wore grace like a garment and poured it out even while your own cup trembled with emptiness. That's what I'm rewarding, child, not your perfection, but your posture, your refusal to grow better, your choice to keep forgiving, your decision to kneel even when you felt overlooked. You thought your devotion was buried in obscurity. But in my kingdom, obscurity is the soil of greatness. You weren't hidden because you were unworthy. You were hidden because you were holy. And now I open the scroll, the one I've been writing while you bled in silence, the one where every act of invisible faith hath been logged as eternal honor. The time is near, not far, when what you built with bloody hands will be crowned with divine reward. I will show others what you constructed in the dark. I will breathe on it, multiply it, announce it, not for your pride, but for my glory. Because the kind of obedience you gave me behind closed doors cannot go unnoticed. It cannot be ignored. It cannot be stolen. And now I rise from my throne to declare, you were not unseen. You were not forgotten. You were watched, loved, honored, and celebrated by the very one who placed the blueprint in your hands. My child, listen closely. Even now, I feel your heart trembling. Your spirit leans in, almost afraid to hope too deeply, yet unable to turn away. That's because what you're hearing is not just language, it's lightning. These aren't simply sentences. They are spiritual signals encoded for the eyes of the chosen. To the casual reader, this may appear like encouragement, poetic perhaps, dramatic even. But to the ones who've been praying for a sign, weeping in silence, aching in hidden places no one can reach, this is not poetic. This is prophetic. This is not fiction. This is fulfillment. I buried this message in plain sight because only those who have endured the crushing, only those who have walked through the wilderness without applause, would have the sensitivity to see past the ink and into the intention. This is thunder clothed in stillness, and only those whose hearts have broken open in my presence will recognize the tremor of my voice behind these words. Here is a storm behind this stillness, a divine destruction disguised in a whisper. I chose not to come with noise because you've had enough of that. The world shouts opinions. The crowd screams predictions. But my voice doesn't compete. It commands. It doesn't need volume. It carries weight. And this message, this moment, is weighty. Not everyone will feel it. Not everyone was meant to. That's why I said only the chosen will understand what this means. Because only those who have waited when it was easier to walk away, only those who have prayed while breaking, only those who have carried invisible assignments with trembling hands, only those will feel the thunder beneath these lines. You are not just reading. You are receiving. You are not just interpreting. You are being ignited. And here's the mystery. Beloved, I love to hide my voice in what looks ordinary. I love to bury revelation inside routine. Because only those with consecrated eyes will see it. Only those with desperate hearts will dig for it. When I wrapped eternal truth in the carpenter's son, only the wise found the king. When I whispered through burning bushes, only the barefoot prophet noticed. And today, I've hidden my fire in this very message, not because I want to keep it from you, but because I want to give it to you. This word is coated with heaven's fingerprint, and your spirit is the only key that fits. You feel it now, don't you? The tightening in your chest, that rising of breath, that holy stillness pressing into your room. That is me. This is not inspiration. This is invasion. I have stepped into your space through syllables, and I am not leaving without awakening what has been dormant in you for far too long. So pause. Don't rush past this. Don't scan these lines like a newsfeed. This isn't a page. It's a portal. This isn't writing. This is a revelation. And if you will sit with me here, not scroll, not skim, but soak, I will begin to whisper strategies, speak in syllables of your future, and confirm what no one else could see. I will open your eyes to things you didn't even know were hiding in your spirit. Because this message, it was never meant for the Medi. It was written for the Mard. It is lightning wrapped in letters. It is thunder without a storm. It is me, beloved, speaking loud in stillness, and I know you hear me. I chosen one, come into the truth I've been whispering to you in fragments, now spoken in fullness. You were never made to fit the mold others tried to squeeze you into. That ache you feel every time you try to conform, the tightening in your chest, that sense of shrinking, it's because your spirit refuses to be boxed. I didn't anoint you to blend in. I didn't pour oil on your head for you to gain the approval of crowns. I didn't call you to be cute, clever, or convenient. I called you to be consecrated. And consecration, child, costs comfort. Anointing always attracts adversity, and purpose will always set you apart from popularity. You were born to be a breaker of generational bondage, a breaker of silence, a breaker of cycles that poisoned your bloodline and suffocated the dreams of those who came before you. I saw your spirit before your struggle. I chose your calling before the chaos, and I placed in your soul a divine resistance to ordinary. That's why shallow places exhaust you. That's why small talk drains you. You're not arrogant. You're assigned. You carry weight, not because you asked for it, but because I trusted you with it. You are not light-hearted because you were never meant to walk light-footed. I gave you spiritual heaviness to crush demonic strongholds. I gave you divine substance to dismantle structures of sin, stagnation, and shame. Others chase platforms. You've been forged into one. You don't need to be elevated. You are elevation. Your life is the pulpit. Your silence carries more deliverance than their sermons. Because I didn't raise you to entertain. I raised you to shift atmospheres. And yes, it has made you lonely. Yes, it has cost you connections, invitations, opportunities. But you didn't lose them. I removed them. You've been grieving relationships that were never meant to last the journey. You've been mourning comfort that was never meant to coexist with your calling. The isolation was never punishment. It was preparation. If I had allowed everyone to go with you, they would have watered down what I intended to be unfiltered power. You are not a diluted version of anything. You are a distillation of heaven's boldness. I didn't make you to echo. I made you to erupt. You are not a copy. You are a catalyst. That's why you've always felt out of place. Because you are. This world is too small for the glory I've hidden in you. You don't need to find your place. You are the place I'm sending others to encounter me. So stop apologizing for your authority. Stop shrinking to make others comfortable. Stop taming your voice to blend in with the background. You were not called to blend. You were called to break. You were not sent to entertain the saints. You were sent to awaken the sleeping. Let them misunderstand you. Let them question you. They don't see what I placed inside you, and they don't have to. What's coming through you isn't for validation. It's for visitation. Heaven will back you when earth doesn't understand you. I will endorse you when man rejects you. Because I didn't anoint you for above, I anointed you for water. And child, you were born for this. You carry the weight. You break the cycle. You disrupt the darkness. And this world has no idea what's about to rise from the ashes of your surrender. Oh, my precious one, if only you could see the weight you've been carrying from where I sit. If only you could see how rare, how radiant, how real you are in my eyes. I want to speak now to the heaviness that's been haunting you, the inexplicable weariness that has wrapped around your bones like a blanket soaked in sorrow. You've been asking, why is this so heavy? And I answer, because it's holy. You haven't just been carrying emotions, you've been carrying my mantle. What rests on your shoulders is not a burden of failure but a banner of favor. It is not pressure from punishment, it's the pull of purpose. You are not weak. You are weighted. And that weight has made you feel worlds apart from those around you, even when they are standing right beside you. There have been times you sat in rooms full of noise and felt like a ghost. You laughed with lips, but your spirit wept silently. You showed up while unraveling. You gave when your soul was gasping for breath. And still, you kept walking. Still, you carried it. Still, you whispered yes when every fiber in you wanted to scream no more. They didn't see it. They couldn't. Because what you carry wasn't meant for human recognition. It was too sacred. It was sealed between me and you. There is a burden I place only on those who are called to birth breakthrough. It's a lowly load, but it is never empty. I placed it upon you not to crush you, but to crown you. And yes, child, this is your coronation season. You've been walking with royalty in secret. You've been carrying the sacred wrapped in suffering. But hear me, the heaviness is not the end of your story. It's the evidence of eternal inheritance. That pain you've been trying to describe but couldn't put into words. I understood it before it even reached your mind. That exhaustion you've blamed on busyness. It's not just fatigue. It's the weight of destiny resisting the cage of the ordinary. You've been walking through invisible warfare. You've been hosting divine tension. And I've watched every moment of it. You may feel like you failed because no one clapped when you stood, or noticed when you stayed. But I did. I've recorded every moment you endured without recognition. Every time you whispered prayers into your pillow. Every time your heart bled silently while you served others' needs. My eyes have never looked away. You've been carrying glory in disguise. And now I am beginning to remove the disguise. What looked like affliction is being revealed as authority. And here's what I want you to know. The mantle you carry is about to manifest. The weight you've endured is about to become the witness that stuns your critics and silences the lies. You've been carrying something too holy to explain, and that's why others couldn't understand. They weren't supposed to. Because this anointing, this assignment, was coded for you and only you. The heaviness was the proof. The loneliness was the oil press. And the silence, it was my sanctified space, preparing you to walk with a power that doesn't need validation to move. So breathe now. Breathe deep. I am with you, and I am lifting the veil on what has been forming in the shadows. The weight was never your enemy. It was your evidence. Now come and sit with me in the soft space of silence. Because I know what you're thinking. You wonder, if I've been chosen, then why has the path felt so unclear? Why do I feel like I've been left to figure it out on my own? And now, child, let me correct the lie before it embeds itself in your belief. You were never alone. Not for a second. Not in the waiting. Not in the weeping. Not in the wandering. When you couldn't feel me, I was still with you. Not watching from afar, but breathing in step beside you. I was the silence that steadied your soul when you couldn't pray. I was the whisper that held your heart when your mind screamed for answers. I didn't leave. I led differently. See, my spirit doesn't always shout. Sometimes I come wrapped in stillness, not storm. Sometimes I withhold clarity, not because I'm cruel, but because I'm crafting something that requires trust beyond your understanding. You prayed for direction, and I gave you discernment. You wanted a map, and I handed you my hand. I am not the God who rushes. I'm the God who orchestrates. And everything you've called a detour was actually design. Every delay, every divine not yet, every closed door, they weren't roadblocks. They were realignments. You thought I was silent when in fact I was surgical. I was removing what couldn't walk with you into the next season. I was severing soul ties to comfort so that you would cling only to me. I wasn't stalling. I was saving you. You begged for acceleration, but I gave you anchoring. You cried for movement, but I gave you maturity. You wanted out of the process, but I was focused on your becoming. Don't you see? I'm not just answering prayers. I'm answering identity. I'm shaping you into someone who can carry what you've been praying for, without it crushing your character. That's why I whispered when you wanted noise. That's why I waited when you wanted instant outcomes. Because my timing is never wasted, and neither is your obedience. When you held on during the hush, when you trusted me in the delay, when you worshipped in the wait, you were becoming dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. Not because you had all the answers, but because you refused to walk away even when you had none. And now, beloved, let me tell you what's next. The delay is becoming delivery. The detour is becoming destiny. I am unfolding answers you didn't even know you needed. I am giving clarity that will wrap around your confusion like sunlight breaking through storm clouds. But more than that, I am revealing that I've been with you all along. My spirit didn't just walk beside you. He walked within you. You carried me through every question, every quiet moment, every misstep, every miracle. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever, and I never left. I've been your whisper in the wilderness. And now, child, I am becoming your voice in the victory. Child, come near. Let me explain something most people never grasp, not because they are less loved, but because they haven't been led the way you have. Only those who walk through the wilderness barefoot, who sleep under the silence of the heavens with no visible sign, who learn the language of stillness, will understand this. Silence is not my absence. It is my architecture. It is my strategy in disguise. While others hear nothing and assume I am gone, you've been trained to listen for the space between the sound. You've come to realize that silence is often where I say the most. Not through noise, but through knowing. Not through chaos, but through calm. The stillness was never empty. It was full of divine instruction for the ones who dared to kneel when everyone else was dancing for attention. You see, while others have scrambled to be seen, you've surrendered to be shaped. While they posted for praise, you postured your heart to receive purpose. You bowed down instead of selling out. You remained hidden while others reached for platforms. And I say this to you now, heaven took notice. I recorded every moment you chose me in secret over visibility in public. That is why the silence felt longer for you, not because I was ignoring you, but because I was infusing you. I was pouring language into your bones, wisdom into your breath, strategy into your stillness. I was shaping you into a vessel that could carry more than sound. You are becoming one who carries substance. And in a world obsessed with noise, I am raising up the ones who have been trained in the quiet. So do not despise the seasons of silence. They were your sacred classrooms. They were the proving grounds of purity. You learned how to walk without applause, how to obey without feedback, how to trust without traction. That silence wasn't wasted. It was weaving you into alignment with what I'm about to release. Because silence precedes manifestation. I hid you so I could hone you. I quieted your surroundings so I could clarify your assignment. And now I declare this. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are aligned. You are being launched from a place of divine precision. And the strength you've gained in stillness will make you immovable in the spotlight. While others crumble under the weight of sudden recognition, you will rise under the responsibility of revelation. Because you didn't chase fame, you chased my face. You didn't crave attention, you craved authenticity. You didn't bow to the stage, you bowed to the secret place. And child, that bow, it has become your badge. The silence that made you question your value is now becoming the sound of your vindication. For I am about to speak loudly through you, and those who once overlooked you will witness the unmistakable fragrance of someone who has knelt at the altar of silence and risen in the authority of surrender. This is your time. Not to be noisy, but to be noticed by heaven. You feel this, don't you? This word isn't just for you. It's being planted in you to awaken others. Just as I have chosen you, I am now inviting you to help carry my fire into more hearts, more homes, more hidden places where only my voice can break through. This message will become manna for someone else, but it moves only as far as your obedience sends it. He who sows generously will also reap generously, and your seed, through super thanks, membership, where the PayPal link below, becomes a river of revelation that never runs dry. You are not just giving. You are fueling a global altar, igniting faith where there was none. This is that moment. This is holy ground. Give now, and watch me multiply your offering with favor and fire. Let me comfort you now, my child, because I know the weight of comparison has been trying to choke the joy out of your journey. You've watched others sprint past you. You've seen doors swing open for people who barely prayed while yours remained shut despite your tears. And somewhere in the ache, you began to wonder, am I behind? Hear me now. No. You are not behind. You are being preserved. You are not late. You are being loaded. You are not forgotten. You are being fortified. What felt like divine delay was actually me covering you like a canopy, shielding you from premature exposure. Because what I'm preparing through you cannot afford contamination. I saw the platforms you could have had. I saw the stages that were offered. I saw the connections you almost made. But I also saw the strings attached. I saw the dilution that would have taken place. I saw the subtle compromise that would have poisoned your purpose. And so, in my mercy, I said, not yet. Not because you weren't ready to serve, but because they weren't ready to receive what's pure. You don't carry a common word. You carry a consecrated sound. And what is consecrated must be protected. That's why I blocked opportunities. That's why I closed doors you didn't expect. It wasn't rejection. It was redirection. Because you are not a placeholder. You are a prototype. And prototypes are preserved with care. I know you didn't understand at the time. The waiting hurt. The watching bruised your spirit. But in the holding, I was healing. In the delay, I was developing you. Not just your gift, but your guardrails. I was teaching you how to walk in fire without smelling like smoke. I was teaching you to discern motives, not just messages. Because what's coming next will attract both the sincere and the sinister. And I couldn't afford for you to step into that without the spiritual sight to separate what's genuine from what's jealous. Your voice is too pure, your oil too costly, your assignment too holy to be tangled with counterfeits. And child, let me say this again for your soul. I didn't hold you back to punish you. I held you back to preserve you. Now, the season of holding is shifting. The internal pause is becoming external permission. But you won't come forth like others. You'll rise with reverence. You'll walk with wisdom. You'll speak with a sound that slices through confusion like light through fog. Because I have trained your tongue in private so that when you speak in public, hell will have to pay attention. You've been set apart not for applause, but for atmosphere-shifting authority. And what's coming can't be mixed with the mimics. It can't be contaminated by the crowd's approval. That's why I've held you like fine wine, aging in silence, becoming more potent with time. You're not behind. You've been becoming. And now, you will be revealed. Beloved, let me say this to you slowly, tenderly, and with authority. You are not random. You were not born by accident. You are not floating through life as an afterthought of creation. You are not misfit, not misplaced, not malfunctioning. You are righteous, on purpose. And I need you to hear this as if heaven itself is thundering it through the deepest parts of your soul. I handcrafted you in eternity and planted you in time with intentionality. Before your first crying, there was already a call. Before your first failure, there was already a forgiveness. Before you ever knew who you were, I did. I knew your wiring. I knew your wonder. I knew your wounds, and still, I wrote you in. Here is a blueprint. Not a vague idea. A precise, divine, detailed map etched into the archives of heaven with your name written into it, not scribbled, not penciled in, but etched, as in, permanent, irreversible, unshakable. That means nothing, no mistake, no detour, no sin, no setback can disqualify you from the destiny I designed for you. Yes, I saw the mess. I saw the missteps. I saw the moments you wanted to give up. And yet, I never once rewrote your purpose. Because your purpose was never based on your perfection. It was based on my promises. You think you've fallen too far. But from where I sit, you're still in reach. You always were. I don't measure you by the mile markers of men. I measure you by the movement of your heart toward me. And I've seen that movement. Even when you failed, you fell toward me. You are not a backup plan. You are not a replacement. You are the original design. And your delays have not canceled your destiny. They've clarified it. While others were running ahead, I slowed you down, not to deny you, but to develop you. I was forging wisdom in your wilderness. I was birthing power in your pause. You thought you were being left behind, but you were actually being set apart. What I've placed inside of you cannot be microwaved. It must be matured. It must be tested, purified, pressed. And now, that process is nearing its unveiling. I'm about to bring you into rooms that you didn't qualify for on paper, but were predestined for in purpose. You'll walk through doors not because you fought your way in, but because heaven unlocked them for the one it designed them for. And child, let me tell you something holy. When I look at you, I see the plan still intact. I see the layers of grace that covered your past. I see the oil of intercession on your future. I see a generation tied to your voice. I see cycles that will break because you decided not to quit. You are not random. You are a revelation in motion. A divine idea given skin, breath, and fire. And I will finish what I started. No demon can derail it. No delay can delete it. Nothing you've done or will do can erase what I've written in heaven about you. Let this settle in your spirit now. Your story is not being written. It's being revealed. My child, lean in. This will sting, but it will also save you. There's a reason I let you ache. There's a reason I didn't let the shallow satisfy you. There's a reason why, even in the arms of others, your soul still felt alone. Because I wired you to hunger for what's real. Not for the imitation. Not for the convenient. Not for the charismatic counterfeit that looks like purpose but poisons your discernment. I let the ache stay so that you would finally say, enough. I want the authentic. I let the ache remain until you realize that being liked isn't the same as being loved by me. Until you saw that being included doesn't mean you're understood, and sometimes you've got to walk away to wake up. I let the imposters fall away, not to punish you, but to purify you. They were never sent. They were permitted, for a time, to reveal what your spirit had been tolerating. You kept asking, why did they leave? I say, because I removed them. You kept mourning their absence, but I was celebrating your awakening. I couldn't let you keep calling toxic loyalty love. I couldn't let you keep making excuses for environments that were slowly suffocating your anointing. So I exposed what was hidden. I allowed masks to fall, motives to show, alliances to unravel. And yes, it broke you, but it also built you. You are no longer seduced by surface. You're no longer baited by fake connection. You don't need the crowd. You've tasted communion. You don't crave applause, you crave alignment. The ache was holy. The ache was strategic. It was the sound of your spirit rejecting what your soul had been settling for. I allowed the counterfeit to hurt so that the real would heal. I didn't answer certain prayers because they were aimed at keeping you comfortable in places I called you out of. And now, beloved, because you felt the pain of the false, you will never again mistake it for the presence of the true. Your heart has grown sharper. Your eyes have become clearer. You no longer confuse charisma for covenant. You no longer accept crumbs when I've prepared a table. The ache shaped you into someone who knows what holy feels like. And because you've been through the ache, you will recognize me, not just in the storm, but in the subtle. Now, as I bring the real, you will know. You will not question. You will not hesitate. When it's me, your spirit will breathe differently. Your peace will sit heavier. The counterfeit trained your discernment. The ache became the alarm. And now I bring the authentic. I bring the ones I've chosen to walk with you in purpose. I bring relationships rooted in righteousness, not relevance. I bring opportunities that require no compromise. Because you endured the ache, you are now entrusted with alignment. So thank me, not just for what came, but for what left. Because what left was not loss, it was liberation. Oh my child, this is one of the hardest truths to carry, and yet one of the holiest. I let the breaking happen. I didn't stop it, not because I was cruel, but because I was creating. I wasn't punishing you. I was preserving the parts of you that had been buried beneath years of pretending, performance, and pressure. You tried to hold it all together, but what you were holding wasn't entirely you. You had collected pieces that never belonged, beliefs others forced on you, expectations that weighed down your soul like chains, fears disguised as wisdom, shame masquerading as humility. You wore identities I never authored. You built walls that looked like strength but were really survival. So yes, I let it chatter. Not because I enjoy your pain, I carry your pain, but because only through the breaking could the false layers fall and the real you rise. And oh, how beautiful that real version of you is. The one that emerged from the ashes. The one who cried out when there were no words left. The one who stayed when it would have been easier to run. The one who kept believing in the dark. You thought you lost yourself, but child, you found me, and in me you found you. I didn't destroy you in the breaking. I delivered you. I removed what was killing your fire. I stripped what was dimming your voice. And now you're clear. Yogurt. True. The real you, the anointed, authentic, awakened you, is finally here. No longer clothed in pretense. No longer shackled by approval. No longer dressing your wounds as though they weren't bleeding. The version of you that walks forward from here will walk in power, not pretense. Yes, it was messy. Yes, it hurt. But I never left. I sat beside you in the wreckage. I whispered truth when your ears were too weary to hear. I held you when you thought I was silent. And now, my hands, the same hands that let you break, are the hands that have been rebuilding you with holy precision. I am reassembling you with pieces that are real, rooted, and radiant with purpose. I'm placing identity where insecurity used to live. I'm pouring confidence where confusion once ruled. You are not a reconstruction of your past. You are a resurrection of my design. And what is reborn in fire walks with authority that fear can't counterfeit. Let the world see the cracks. They are not flaws. They are proof that the false version of you didn't survive the fire, but the real you did. Wear your story like a sword, not a scar. You've been refined, not ruined. Grogobo, not broken down. And from this moment on, you will speak, walk, live, not from pain, but from purity. Because what emerged from the breaking is not a shadow. It is a force, a voice, a vessel of my glory. And this time, nothing will stop it. My child, I saw it all. The whispers behind your back, the smirks, the rolled eyes, the conversations that twisted your quiet into weakness. They thought you were done. They assumed your silence was surrender, that your fire had fizzled out. I took your stillness as proof of failure, your retreat as evidence of retreating. But oh, how wrong they were. What they didn't see was the altar being rebuilt in your hiddenness. What they didn't hear was the sound of your spirit being filled again. While they mocked, I was moving. While they dismissed you, I was distilling you. They saw an exit, but I was crafting your entrance. Let me tell you what I was really doing in your silence. I was multiplying your oil. You see, fire without oil is temporary. Noise without anointing is nothing but performance. I wasn't trying to keep you relevant. I was making you reverent. I was saturating your soul with what can't be faked. I wasn't concerned with appearances. I was concerned with authority. I let the world go quiet around you because I needed you to hear me and only me. I blocked the noise so I could pour what is rare, weighty glory that carries the power to break chains, not just gather crowns. Your quiet season was your qualification season. You weren't fading. You were focusing. You weren't crumbling. You were consecrating. And now, child, I tell you, the fire is not gone. It is deeper. It is not dim. It is deliberate. You will burn differently now. Not for visibility, but for victory. Not for the stage, but for the souls. You have been made into a living altar, and when you speak again, the heavens will respond. When you move, demons will remember your name. When you walk, territory will shift. Because this fire wasn't fanned by fans. It was fueled by me. And that kind of fire cannot be quenched. So let them laugh. Let them wonder. Let them question how you're still here. I didn't know the secret oil that kept flowing. They didn't see the nights you stayed on your face before me. They didn't hear the prayers you didn't post. But I did. And now, child, now the fire is ready. Not a show fire. Not a spark that fizzles. but a wildfire of heaven's vengeance against darkness. A fire that doesn't entertain, it consumes. And it's about to move through you. Let me confirm what your heart has been afraid to admit out loud. You were right. The battle has been real. The warfare hath been relentless. The opposition wasn't paranoia. It was prophetic proof. Because, child, hell doesn't waste ammunition on people who pose no threat. And the level of attack you've endured is a direct reflection of the weight of the assignment I've placed upon your life. You weren't crazy. You weren't weak. You were targeted because you've been trusted. You carry oil that hell can't counterfeit. You walk with authority that darkness recognizes. You've been marked, not just by man, but by the throne of heaven. That's why the warfare was timed, tailored, and strategic. Because you're not just anybody. You are anointed. You remember the moments that almost took you out. The nights when it felt like breathing was a battle. The days when your mind felt like a war zone, where every thought screamed lies, where your hope was under siege. That wasn't random. That was a full-scale spiritual assassination attempt, because the enemy saw what was forming in you before you did. He saw the roots of your authority going deeper. He saw your hunger growing hotter. He saw your obedience increasing, and he panicked. So he threw everything at you. Confusion, isolation, impatience, delay. He tried to sever your connections. He tried to corrupt your confidence. And still, you didn't quit. That alone is war for victory. What you survived wasn't just for your growth. It was a statement in the spirit realm. You didn't just make it through. You made hell tremble. Because now you know. Now you see. Now you carry scars that testify louder than any sermon. And those scars are sword. They are proof that you are qualified not just to recover, but to rescue others. The enemy hoped to silence you. Instead, I have strengthened your voice. The resistance was real, but your resilience is revelation. Because only the chosen understand that the size of the storm reveals the size of the calling. And child, your storm was not small. And now, I declare over you, the very warfare that was sent to wipe you out will now witness your rise. The same enemy that tried to bury you will have to watch you bloom. What tried to silence you will now amplify you. Because your survival wasn't just survival, it was strategy. I let the fire come so that it would forge you. I let the pressure press so that it would purify you. And now, the battle has shifted. You will not just fight. You will command. You will not just withstand. You will wield. You didn't imagine the battle, child. And you didn't fight it alone. You were backed by angels, guarded by grace, shielded by my spirit. And now you are rising with fire in your eyes and victory in your mouth. Beloved, come close now. I know you felt it. The sting of separation, the ache of seeing relationships unravel that once felt eternal, the confusion of being left out, overlooked, misunderstood, or suddenly alone. You asked me why. You wondered if you were the problem. But now I speak. You were not rejected. You were redirected. You weren't being punished. You were being preserved. Because what I'm building through you requires protection. It requires discernment. It requires guardrails. And not everyone, no matter how familiar or gifted, is meant to walk with you into your next. Because, child, what's on you is too sacred to be handled casually. I gave you discernment not to make you paranoid, but to purify your proximity. Not so you would isolate yourself in fear, but so you would recognize the difference between access and alignment. Just because someone is close doesn't mean they are called. Just because someone says the right words doesn't mean they carry the right spirit. I needed to teach you how to read beyond behavior, to see beneath the surface, to catch the current of a person's heart even when their hands seem clean. Because the higher you go, the more strategic your connections must be. And I wouldn't allow you to build on unstable bonds. That's not cruelty, that's covenant clarity. There were people you would have taken with you out of loyalty, but I removed them out of love. Because some hearts are too entangled with ego, some lips too familiar with flattery. And if I had let them come, they would have contaminated what I am birthing through you. You would have spent energy maintaining relationships instead of maintaining the altar. And child, I didn't call you to babysit broken loyalty. I called you to birth holy legacy. So yes, the pruning hurt, but the fruit it will produce will outweigh the pain. You don't need crowds. You need covenant. You don't need hype. You need holiness. And that's what I'm giving you. People who carry me, not just people who want to use you. So grieve the loss, yes. Let the tears fall, but don't mislabel what I've done. This is not abandonment. This is alignment. I'm not reducing your circle to break your heart. I'm refining it to protect your oil. You don't need everyone. You only need those I've assigned. And I promise you, child, they are coming. Connections forged in the spirit. Conversations laced with glory. Companion that sharpen, not sabotage. You will no longer have to explain your fire. They will recognize it. You will no longer have to beg for support. They will come bearing oil. You are not alone. You've simply been guarded. And when the next door opens, it won't just be for you. It will be for the family of faith I've prepared to walk beside you. Because discernment wasn't given to isolate you. It was given to insulate the glory. And what I've placed on your life is too precious to risk. Ah yes, my beloved, you've sensed it. Not with logic, but with your spirit. That subtle shift. A holy disturbance. The kind you can't explain, but you can't ignore. It's as if the air around you is thicker. Time feels pregnant. Destiny feels near. And you're not wrong. That's not imagination. It's invitation. That pull inside your chest. That's the sound of eternity tapping on your timeline. It's me stirring your soul with holy signals, whispering, prepare. You've waited, prayed, wept, warred, and now, the spiritual landscape is shifting because your appointed moment is being unveiled. The enemy tried to distract you during the delay, tried to make you believe the waiting was wasted, tried to convince you that nothing was happening. But child, let me reveal the truth. While you were wondering when, I was aligning how. While you were crying in confusion, I was building in secret. The shift you're feeling now is not new. It's the revealing of what's already informing beneath the surface. It's the moment the seed breaks open. The second the water begins to rise. The hour heaven says, now. Your obedience didn't just sustain you. It summoned acceleration. And what was delayed, not denied but divinely timed, is now on delivery status. But listen carefully. I'm not bringing you into this new season as a wounded wanderer. I'm ushering you in as a wise warrior. That's why the shift feels heavier than expected, because you're not stepping into blessing alone. You're stepping into authority. I'm giving you more than answered prayers. I'm giving you spiritual territory. You're not just moving forward. You're possessing promise. This is not about hype. It's about harvest. I've allowed every second of your waiting to mature your roots, deepen your insight, and sharpen your discernment, because this season is not for the faint of heart. It's for the faithful of spirit. Now take a breath, child. Feel the weight of what's coming, but do not fear it. You've been prepared. This is not unfamiliar ground. This is the place I whispered to you about in the dark. This is the moment I showed you in visions. You are not standing on uncertainty. You are standing on fulfilled prophecy. The shift you feel is not just around you. It's inside you. And the next move isn't man's to make. It's mine. I am turning keys, opening doors, releasing what has been sealed. The time is now. The wait is over. What I promised, I will perform. Come closer, my child. Let me speak something deep into your spirit. Something you didn't know you needed to hear. You are being spoken of in places your feet have not yet touched. While you've been quietly obeying, while you've been hidden in the secret place, I have been orchestrating introductions your hands never had to arrange. You've been feeling invisible, but I say, you've been protected. You've been wondering if anyone sees, but I say, I've seen, and now I am stirring hearts on your behalf. Heaven is mentioning your name, not to the crowds but to gatekeepers, not to fans but to strategic alignments. And soon, you will walk into places you didn't knock on, because I opened them. Let me say it this way. You didn't miss it. What passed you wasn't yours. What rejected you wasn't assigned. And what you lost wasn't less. It was a layer I removed. Because I've been working ahead of you, child. Not to just make a way, but to make it ready. Some doors had to be delayed until the right people were in place. Some rooms had to be rearranged so that when you walked in, the weight of your assignment would be recognized instantly. And yes, some who once laughed at your struggle, mocked your silence, misjudged your pause, they will now see the hand of God stretch wide and place a feast in front of them with your name written on it. Not for revenge, but for revelation. Because favor is not flashy, it's ferocious. When I place favor on someone, no man can block it. No opinion can mute it. No agenda can erase it. Favor doesn't knock. It walks in with authority. And child, that's what you carry now. A level of favor that is not tied to performance, popularity, or perfection. It is tied to your position in me. And that position was forged in the fire, strengthened in silence, anchored in surrender. You've been refined, not for display, but for deployment. And now the moment is approaching when all that was hidden will be highlighted. Not because you pushed to, but because you were positioned. So take courage. Keep your posture low. Stay surrendered. Because I am not just opening doors, I am ushering you into fulfillment. I am sending angels ahead of you to prepare hearts, line resources, soften hard places. You won't have to force it. You won't have to fight for visibility. I am your visibility. I am your voice. I am your advocate. And I will make your name known where your obedience has already spoken volumes. The table is set. The enemies are watching. But more importantly, heaven is hosting. And this time, you're not just invited, you're the reason the banquet was planned. My precious one, I know how hard that season was. The winds didn't just shake your house, they shook your soul. You felt like everything was coming apart, like the very foundation you stood on was being ripped from beneath you. But now, let me uncover the truth behind what you called chaos. It was cleansing. It was not to break you. It was to break off what could not journey forward with you. What you thought was unraveling was actually me uncovering. The storm was not sent to sabotage you. It was summoned to sift. Because there were things, people, mindsets, and even habits that were clinging to your destiny like hidden weights. And if I hadn't stirred the winds, they would have stayed attached, silently sabotaging the next level I'm calling you to. I saw what you couldn't see. I saw where comfort had become a cage. I saw the relationships that wore the mask of support but hid subtle sabotage. I saw the cracks in your structure that would have collapsed under the weight of promotion. And so, I allowed the storm. Because I love you too deeply to let you rise without being ready. I would rather let you hurt for a season than watch your legacy be crushed in a moment. The storm revealed where the leaks were. It showed you what was solid and what was sand. It showed you who stayed and who scattered. And though it wounded your heart, it warned your spirit. Now you know who's truly with you, not just in peace, but in pressure. Let us enjoy what endured. Not just when you shine, but when you shatter. And I know it felt like loss. I know it felt like betrayal. But I need you to understand, what left had to leave. Because where I'm taking you, there's no room for leeches. There's no space for shallow roots. The higher the elevation, the more precise the environment must be. A storm didn't come to destroy your dream. It came to purify your platform. It cleared the fog. It removed the distractions. It dismantled the illusions. Now, what remains is what is real. What remains is resilient. What remains is what I can build on. And child, I am building again. Stronger. Clear. Oliu. Unshakable. So take another look at the wreckage. It's not a grave. It's a garden. I've already begun planting new things where the old was stripped away. The storm didn't end your story. It refocused your vision. And now, you walk with clarity, with conviction, and with covenant. Nothing was wasted. Even the wind served you. Even the breaking became a beginning. And soon, even those who doubted you in the storm will have to admit, God was in this. I was never absent. I was in every wave, every crash, every tear. And now, child, I am in the rebuilding. You heard me. You felt me. And now you know, this wasn't just a video. It was a visitation. Only the chosen will understand this next part. Your act of support is more than generosity. It is warfare. When you sow into this word, through super thanks, membership, or the link in the description, you are funding the movement of my voice. You are lighting lamps in midnight places. You are unlocking doors for someone else's deliverance. Bring the whole tithe into the storehouse and I will open the windows of heaven, and I will. Child, this is not obligation. It's divine invitation. Move now. You boldly. Watch what I do through you. My beloved, I hear your heart. You've been circling around the same question, waiting for me to write it in the sky or shout it through a stranger. But I need you to hear me clearly now. You don't need another confirmation. You need to move. You've been trained for this. You've been tested in the fire. You've heard my voice in the dark. I've already spoken. I've already revealed. And now, I'm giving you something even greater than a sign. I'm giving you clearance. This is not hesitation season. This is activation season. I am not sending you back to the drawing board. I'm sending you into destiny. You keep saying, God, just tell me again. Just confirm it one more time. But child, the reason I've gone quiet on that question is because I've already answered it. You don't need another prophecy. You are the prophecy. You're living in the fulfillment of what others only dreamed about. The doors are open. The grace is present. The oil is flowing. It's time to step. Not with fear. Not with frantic striving. but with faith-fueled authority. I've given you everything you need to move forward, and what you don't have yet, you will discover in the going. Yes, you're afraid. I see that. You're afraid to get it wrong, afraid to disappoint me, afraid to miss a step. But let me speak peace into your fear. You can't outrun my guidance. Even if your step wobbles, I will correct your course. Even if your foot slips, my hand is already there. You are not walking alone. You are walking with clearance. I go ahead of you. I've prepared the terrain. The provision is not behind you. It's in the direction of obedience. Don't shrink back. Don't apologize for what I've approved. This isn't arrogance. It's alignment. And when you move in alignment, the earth has to respond. So stop overanalyzing. Stop second-guessing. You're not stuck. You're standing at a green light. The delay has been removed. The clearance has been issued. The anointing is active. Heaven is leaning in. Hell is trembling. And now, the only thing required is your movement. Not because you have all the answers, but because you know the one who does. This next step won't be perfect, but it will be prophetic. And every place you set your foot will confirm what your spirit already knows. God is in this. Oh, my child, how many nights did you stare into the silence, asking me, what did I do wrong? How many moments did you carry the crushing weight of feeling unseen, unheard, forgotten? You thought the wilderness was my way of withdrawing from you, when in truth, it was me drawing something out of you. You thought the isolation meant I had changed my mind. But I say to you now with fire in my breath, I never left. I never chained you. I never stopped choosing you. The wilderness wasn't your exile. It was your elevation process. I hid you in obscurity to heal you in secret. I stripped the noise so you could hear my whisper. I closed certain doors so your hunger for me would deepen beyond performance, beyond applause, beyond achievement. In the wilderness, I watched you learn to walk with me when there was no one cheering, no one watching, no one affirming. I saw you lift your head when shame told you to bury it. I saw you praise when your soul was scraping rock bottom. And let me tell you, heaven recorded every moment. You were not buried, child. You were planted. And now the soil that once felt suffocating is breaking open. You are about to emerge, not as you were, but as I intended you to be. This is not a return. It is a revealing. Your wilderness didn't strip you. It fortified you. You no longer crave the shallow. You no longer settle for the superficial. What's been produced in you cannot be faked and cannot be forgotten. Others will marvel at your strength, not knowing it was formed in caves of sorrow and carved by rivers of surrender. You've become the kind of vessel that carries weight, not just words. The kind that shifts atmospheres, not just rooms. The kind that hell regrets not killing when it had the chance. And now, I say it's time. Time to break through. Time to stretch toward the light. Time to come out of the hidden place and into the harvest I've prepared for you. You didn't waste the wilderness, you won it. And every tear, every unanswered prayer, every moment of pain is about to become fuel for a glory that will not be denied. The roots have run deep, child. And now, the bloom will be undeniable. My beloved, there's something you need to understand about the timeline of your warfare. It didn't come randomly. It didn't show up out of nowhere. The storm didn't just hit because you were weak. It hit because you were dangerously close to destiny. You didn't realize it, but your next breakthrough had already been scheduled in heaven. You were on the brink of crossing into a territory that would shift not just your life, but the lives of many connected to you. And so, The enemy struck preemptively. He tried to break your spirit before you birthed your next season. The attacks weren't about your past. They were about your future. The warfare intensified because the enemy sensed the movement in your spirit. He saw you growing bold. He saw you turning down temptation. He saw you choosing me even when it cost you. He saw the oil increasing, the fire returning, the discernment sharpening, and he panicked. So he threw everything he could: confusion, betrayal, delay, distraction, oppression, even fatigue so deep you thought something was wrong with you. But I say to you now, nothing was wrong with you. Everything was right. The warfare confirmed that you were on track. You see it now. The intensity wasn't punishment, it was proof. It was the sound of hell throwing a tantrum because you kept saying yes to me. Every time you chose integrity when compromise would have been easier, the darkness trembled. Every time you picked up your sword instead of shrinking back into silence, the enemy lost ground. The reason it felt like everything hit you at once is because you were being launched into a realm of influence hell couldn't afford for you to reach. But child, you made it through. Bruised, yes. Wounded, perhaps. Well, not broken. Not defeated. Not forsaken. So now I say this to you with the full weight of heaven behind my voice. Your next breakthrough is here. The birth pangs are ending. The night is shifting. The morning is rising. What the enemy tried to crush, I'm about to crown. What he tried to curse, I will consecrate. What he thought was a funeral, I am turning into a festival. This is not recovery, it's resurrection. This is not surviving, it's ascending. And every demonic plan, every whisper of fear, every lie spoken over you is about to be silenced by the sound of your supernatural breakthrough. You were targeted because you are trusted. You were attacked because you are anointed. And now, child, now, you rise. My child, listen to me. You are not average. You are not background noise in the story of this world. You are not a filler character in someone else's destiny. You are chosen. And this choosing was not a last-minute decision. It wasn't based on your qualifications, your family line, or your flawless record, because you and I both know there were moments when you stumbled, when you broke, when you nearly let go. And still, I called your name. I chose you. I knew the shaking would come. I knew the storm would rage. But I didn't choose you to cower. I chose you to stand. When others fold under pressure, you will rise in power. Not because you're stronger than them, but because you've learned where your strength actually comes from. You know me. Not just my gifts, not just my blessings. Me. You know how to cling to me in the dark. You've walked with me through fire. You've prayed when your voice trembled. You've praised when your heart broke. And that's what makes you dangerous to darkness. Because you don't need perfect conditions to be powerful. You don't need a crowd to have clarity. You have roots. You have oil. And in this hour, that makes you a threat to every scheme of the enemy. You will speak when others stay silent, because you've tasted truth in the secret place. You will not be swayed by public opinion. You will water down what I've shown you. You'll declare what is holy, even if it's unpopular. You'll carry conviction, not just charisma. And that's why I'm raising your voice in this season. Not to perform, but to pierce the veil. Not to entertain, but to establish my presence wherever you go. When you speak, atmospheres will shift. Not because of volume, but because of authority. You were born for this. Born for this. Forged in fire for this. And child, when the darkness presses in, When fear tries to freeze the room, when culture tries to contaminate the conversation, you will shine. You will not flicker. You will not hide. Because what I've placed inside you isn't just light, it's revelation fire. It cannot be quenched by rejection. It cannot be dimmed by delay. And it will not be ignored. I am commissioning you now. Go where I send you. Say what I give you. Stand where I place you. And know this, even if the world wavers, you will not fall. Because I am the one who holds you. And I do not drop what I personally anoint. Now listen closely, my beloved, because this is the moment everything shifts. This is the line in the sand, the crossing over. You waited long. You've endured the process. You've heard me whisper through every message, hold on. Trust me. I'm worthy. And now, the waiting has given birth to walking. What was once just a word in your spirit is becoming the world you live in. This isn't imagination. This is manifestation. This is the now moment. The veil has torn. The heavens have moved. And what once looked impossible is about to become unmistakable. You are not who you were when you started this journey. You've been stretched, refined, redefined, and recalibrated. And now, you are ready. Ready to walk not just with excitement, but with evidence. Ready to carry not just promises, but presence. Your feet will step into rooms where every detail screams divine orchestration. Conversations will unfold that feel like heaven was sitting at the table. Doors you didn't even know existed will swing open without effort. Not because of hustle, but because of heritage. You were born for this. You were chosen for this. You were timed for this. Let me be clear, the season of almost is over. The spirit of delay has been broken. The chains of doubt have melted under the weight of my voice. And now, every step you take is a step into destiny. No more rehearsing the pain. No more repeating the pattern. No more questioning if you're qualified. I have qualified you by fire. I have anointed you with oil. I have backed you with heaven. And child, you are not entering this season alone. I'm walking with you. Angels are going ahead of you. Favor is falling on you. Miracles are moving through you. So lift your head. Square your shoulders. Take a holy breath. And walk. Not with fear, but with fire. Not with doubt, but with dominion. Not with hesitation, but with heaven's authority. Because this is the moment where the chosen will understand. Others will look and be confused. They'll ask, how did this happen so fast? But you'll know. You'll smile. You'll feel the echo of these words in your bones. And you'll whisper back, this is what he promised. And now I'm not just hearing it, I'm living it. If this word pierced your spirit, it's because I wrote it with you in mind. You are not just a listener, you are a carrier of the flame. And I am now calling you to send this fire forward. When you give, through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link below, you are sowing into a harvest that will reach nations. You are answering the call of Isaiah 52:7. How beautiful are the feet of those who bring good news. That is what you become in this moment. A messenger of glory. Don't wait. This is not routine. It's revolution. Move with me. Sow into my word. Multiply the light. Before you leave this moment, seal what I've spoken over you. If this word ignited something deep within you, don't stay silent. Declare it in the comments below. I am one of the chosen, and I understand. Let your voice rise in faith, not fear. Every time you type those words, it's not just a comment, it's a confirmation in the spirit. This is more than interaction. It's activation. Because only the chosen will know what this means, and only the bold will say it out loud. My child, I call you now to a silence far deeper than the absence of sound, a quiet that transcends the frantic, ceaseless clamor of the world that perpetually besieges your mind. Pause now. Stop the frantic striving, quiet the inner tumult, and feel my presence settling around you. You seek me in the grand thunder, expecting a dramatic upheaval, but my truth resides in the still, small voice, an inner whisper so soft that only a truly attentive spirit can perceive its unmistakable clarity. This voice rises above the noise of constant notifications, the chatter of social media, and the relentless demands of your schedule, offering you a peace that is immeasurable and unwavering. You must understand, my truth is entirely different from the noisy echoes of the world's wisdom, the fleeting gossip, or the hollow threats others fling your way. The world speaks a language of competition, anxiety, and surface-level approval, urging you to conform to its shallow demands, yet I offer you a profound, unending tranquility. Disregard the deceitful words and resist the influence of those who attempt to pull you back into destructive habits and meaningless conflicts, for they seek to strip you of your priceless blessings. The voices of others will always offer a confusing mix of their own doubts, their own fears, and their own limited understanding, creating a disorienting whirlwind of negative thoughts. But my voice, my message, is singular, unified, and always, without exception, points you toward unwavering truth, eternal freedom, and unending abundance. The key to unlocking this inner channel of divine hearing is not in intellectual brilliance or endless theological study, but in the simple prerequisite of a humble, seeking heart. I call you to a genuine sincerity, an unpretentious humility, urging you to acknowledge your need for me with a heart as innocent and open as a child's. Lay down the heavy mantle of self-sufficiency, release the need to control every single outcome. Come to me stripped bare of pretense and self-importance, admitting your shortcomings and your utter dependence upon my unending grace. When you stop striving to earn my attention and simply surrender your entire being to my perfect will, you create the empty, quiet space where my unwavering voice can finally resonate. Understand this profound truth, my precious one. My infinite understanding and the deep mysteries of my kingdom are not intended for the masses, the casual, uninterested crowd, but are reserved only for the consecrated few, the truly devoted souls. Your commitment to me, your unwavering fidelity, sets you distinctly apart from those who merely dabble in faith, who view my powerful promises as a temporary diversion rather than an unbreakable covenant. You are not a spectator. You are not a casual observer. You are one of my hand-picked champions, a member of a unique assembly chosen for an extraordinary purpose. This inner circle of understanding is not for the uncommitted or the lukewarm. It is for those, like you, whose hearts burn with a fierce, unyielding desire for sacred knowledge and divine truth. The deep comprehension of my eternal truths begins with a profound, necessary separation of spirit from flesh, demanding that you elevate your thoughts above the purely physical, temporary realm. The mind governed by earthly logic can only process the visible, the measurable, and the fleeting. But the spirit, which I have ignited within you, hungers for the invisible, the eternal, the unseen realities that are the only true foundation. Refuse to limit my infinite power with your human, finite understanding, abandon the constant need to explain the supernatural with mere logic. I command you to disconnect from the sensory saturation of the world, for your eyes see only fleeting shadows and empty promises. Choose instead to perceive the world through the clarity of your spirit, for this is where my wisdom and my unending truth reside. The journey, my beloved child, begins with a powerful moment of self-realization, a profound awakening to the truth of your divine election. Acknowledge your standing. You are chosen, set apart, and called by my unmistakable voice for a magnificent destiny. This is not a matter of arrogant pride, but of humble acceptance of the truth I have placed within your spirit. You were not born into this time by happenstance. I selected you before the sun ignited in the heavens. Embrace the sacred truth, and allow it to be the unbreakable anchor that holds you steady when the turbulent winds of doubt threaten to overwhelm you. My conversation with you now is the living proof, the unquestionable testimony that you are cherished, protected, and destined for eternal triumph. My beloved, let us speak plainly about the foundation upon which your entire life rests, the covenant of grace. Fix your eyes upon the unthinkable cost of your redemption, for it is so much more than a theological idea. It is the very breath of your new beginning. The blood sacrifice, my Son's ultimate act of love, sealed this eternal promise, breaking the chains of consequence that you could never shatter on your own. Understand, that moment on the cross was not a moment of defeat. It was a glorious victory over the adversary's empty threats, a transaction so profound that it rearranged the very fabric of eternity. I do not want you to merely acknowledge this fact. I command you to internalize this unforgettable truth, to let it dissolve every last vestige of guilt or shame the enemy tries to burden you with. The salvation you possess, this unimaginable freedom, is a pure, unmerited gift, an extravagant favor bestowed upon you not because you earned it, for no human effort could ever suffice, but simply because I love you unconditionally and infinitely. Refuse to listen to the whispers that demand perfection before you approach me, that try to tie my boundless love to your flawed performance or your daily struggles. That is the old law, the law of striving, and you are called to live under the umbrella of my unwavering, ever-present mercy. Step out from the self-imposed prison of constant judgment and immerse yourself in the cleansing flow of my acceptance. Release the weight of past errors and embrace the liberating power of my forgiveness, which is always new with every morning sun. Stop the exhausting struggle to pay a debt that has already been marked as paid in full. I command you to fully understand the sheer magnitude of the cost of your redemption, for it is the only true anchor against the tides of self-condemnation. When you feel that knot of anxiety tighten in your stomach, whispering that you are not enough, counter it immediately with the thundering declaration of your worth. My Son's life was the price, and that makes you priceless. Know that this unwavering love is not a flimsy promise. It is an eternal, unbreakable commitment that nothing in this world, no failure, no trial, no spiritual attack, can ever sever. Your new life, my chosen one, found through spiritual rebirth, is a life of supernatural liberation, a radical shift from darkness into my marvelous light. Recognize the transformation that has occurred deep within your spirit. You are no longer merely flesh and blood bound for the dust, but a new creation with an eternal destiny. Cultivate the spirit I have placed inside you. Nourish it daily with my word, and let its unyielding voice guide your decisions over the noisy clamor of your own misguided desires. I want you to walk through your days with the unshakable certainty that you are defined not by your faults or flaws, but by the unending favor and unconditional grace I have poured out upon you. This, my child, is the most gripping and transformative truth of all. You are declared righteous in my sight, not because of your deeds, but because you are enveloped in the perfect righteousness of my Son. Embrace this profound identity. Refuse to let anyone, especially the enemy's persistent lies, ever tell you otherwise. When you walk into your office, your home, or any situation that demands your attention, step forward with the dignity of one who has been fully and completely vindicated. I have made you whole. I have declared you acceptable. I have sealed your future. Walk in the undeniable assurance of this, for it is the eternal reality, the unbreakable covenant I have unveiled to you, my chosen one. My child, listen closely to this profound and weighty truth, for it sets you irrevocably apart from the very beginning. You are chosen, not by chance, but before the foundation of the world was ever laid. Ponder the staggering magnitude of this election. Before the sun was hung and the heavens or the oceans knew their boundaries, I knew your name, I planned your steps, and I destined you for this exact time and place. This is not a casual selection. It is a sacred and intentional act of my unending will, and it carries with it a glorious responsibility. I want you to feel the profound and solemn weight of this divine election, for it demands a greater responsibility than the masses are ever asked to bear. You, my chosen vessel, are set apart for my exclusive use, called not to a life of ease or simple comfort, but to a life that reflects my perfect holiness in every aspect. Recognize that the call to holiness is not a series of impossible rules to follow, but a natural and radiant reflection of my image, already imprinted deep within your soul. Commit yourself daily to integrity and truth, to living a life that is so transparent and upright that others cannot help but see my unwavering light shining through you. Let your actions in your workplace, within your family, and in the quiet moments of your home testify to the transformative power of my unending grace. Embrace the unwavering divine purpose I have already woven into the very fiber of your being. I created you with precision, installing unique gifts, powerful talents, and a specific calling that only you can fulfill. Stop wasting your precious energy comparing yourself to others or coveting their paths, for your blueprint is original and divine. Focus on cultivating the marvelous gifts I have placed in your hands, your capacity for compassion, your unwavering persistence, your uncommon wisdom, and use them boldly for my kingdom. I assure you, my child, that your greatest fulfillment will come not from achieving the world's fleeting standards, but from fully surrendering to the magnificent plan I ordained for your life. There is a stark difference, my beloved, between those who are simply called, those who hear the general invitation, and those who are truly chosen, those who respond with unwavering fidelity and deep commitment. The called may stand on the fringes, but the chosen stand firmly upon my eternal rock. The chosen are marked by their unyielding perseverance through trials, their unwavering loyalty in the face of temptation, and their unshakable faith that remains vibrant even when the path is completely obscured. Determined today to be counted among the faithful few, those who press on with courage and resolve, knowing that their reward is unfading and eternal. Understand with crystal clear clarity that your path, as my chosen one, will inevitably diverge from the world's broad and crowded road. The world's direction is one of self-interest and fleeting pleasure, but yours is a journey of sacrificial love, unwavering truth, and eternal significance. This divergence will bring moments of loneliness, times when you must stand alone against the tide of popular opinion. Do not be dismayed by this isolation. I am always with you. Know that this separation is my unmistakable mark upon you, proof that you belong to my unwavering kingdom. I command you to walk this narrow way with dignity and joy, for at the end of this glorious journey awaits the unfading crown of life, the eternal victory reserved only for my chosen few. My child, come closer, and let me reveal the deep secrets of the language of the Spirit, the sacred tongue that transcends the mere words of man. The reading of Scripture is not meant to be a superficial academic exercise, a mere intellectual parsing of letters. It is an act of profound spiritual communion that requires the unwavering guidance of my Holy Spirit. The letter alone, my child, can kill your spirit and lead you into sterile legalism, turning the life-giving stream of my word into a rigid, unyielding framework. I urge you to seek the Spirit, the unseen fire that ignites the word, turning black ink into a living, breathing revelation directly for your life. Ask me daily to unveil the hidden, supernatural meaning the deeper currents of truth that lie beneath the surface. For this profound understanding is the unshakable nourishment your soul truly craves. I desire your prayer life to be much more than a list of daily petitions, a mere shopping list of your needs and wants, though I surely delight to provide for your every need. Elevate your prayers, my beloved, and see them as unbroken communion, a sacred, intimate conversation with the one who loves you infinitely. Use your time in prayer to pour out your entire soul with absolute vulnerability, holding nothing back, no secret shame, no hidden fear, no unspoken desire. Listen more than you speak. Cultivate the inner stillness where you can perceive the unmistakable rhythm of my heart beating for you. The true power of prayer is not in getting your will done on earth, but in aligning your heart so perfectly with my perfect will in heaven. Do this, and you will witness the marvelous power of my kingdom unleashed in your life. The whispers of the Holy Spirit are intended to be the unwavering compass guiding your daily steps, a gentle yet unmistakable internal nudge that directs you away from danger and toward my perfect provision. Practice the sacred discipline of attentiveness. Learn to distinguish His calm and certain voice from the frantic, anxious chatter of your own mind. Trust that I have equipped you with the ability to discern the spirits, to recognize the subtle deceptions and schemes of the adversary that seek to pull you off your destined path. Walk in this unshakable assurance, knowing that my Spirit is your ever-present teacher, protector, and faithful guide in all things. I have granted you the wisdom and the uncommon clarity to discern the times and seasons in the earth, to understand the spiritual currents beneath the surface of world events. You are not meant to be a bewildered spectator, helplessly tossed about by the changing tides of chaos and uncertainty. You are called to be an informed, watchful participant in the unfolding of my eternal plan. I empower you to speak the truth that often offends the natural man, the soul consumed by purely human logic and fleeting desire. Do not dilute my unwavering truth to make it more palatable or socially acceptable. Speak with uncommon authority, with unquestionable conviction, and with the fearless certainty that you are delivering my sacred message. The unique clarity you possess, my chosen one, is granted only to my anointed vessels, to those who have paid the price of unwavering commitment and sincere humility. I have placed within you a fire that burns away confusion and illuminates the darkest corners of misunderstanding. Embrace this uncommon gift of discernment and use it to illuminate the paths of others who are lost and desperately seeking unwavering direction. I command you to operate daily in this supernatural clarity, for you are my light in a world that is increasingly shrouded in self-imposed darkness. Walk in this unshakable confidence, knowing that you are speaking my word, and my word is always unwavering truth. My beloved child, come now and let us speak of a truth that is often misunderstood by the many, a truth that is the very hallmark of my chosen few, the fellowship of suffering. Never view the trials, the unexpected hardships, or the moments of profound discomfort as a sign of my displeasure or as a cruel, unjust punishment. See them, instead, as the refining fire, the purifying process that burns away the dross of your worldly attachments and solidifies the unshakable foundation of your genuine faith. I assure you, the heat of the furnace is never intended to destroy you. It is designed only to perfect you, to make your character shine with the unfading brilliance of gold refined 7 times. I am with you in the flames, always protecting you, always sustaining you, and ensuring that you emerge not merely intact, but stronger and more radiant. I command you, my child, to find uncommon joy in the midst of your tribulations, for this is the supernatural wisdom granted only to the consecrated soul. The world chases fleeting pleasure to escape pain, but you, my chosen one, are called to embrace it, knowing that suffering is the indispensable tool that produces unwavering perseverance, an unyielding patience, and ultimately, an unbreakable hope. Recognize the spiritual growth you are harvesting from these trials and tests. Every single tear you shed is planting a seed of transformation. Understand that your perseverance is not a testament to your human strength, but a radiant reflection of my unwavering spirit that empowers you to stand firm when all else seems to be crumbling around you. I remind you of this undeniable truth: the disciple is never above the master. I walk this earth, enduring rejection, facing betrayal, and bearing a cross of unthinkable agony, all for the unending joy set before me. Do not be surprised when the world, which rejected me, also rejects my unwavering truth flowing through you. See it as an uncommon honor, a sacred privilege to bear your cross daily for my namesake. Know that every single moment of discomfort, every instance of being misunderstood, and every act of self-denial is aligning you more perfectly with the image of my Son. I promise you, this is the narrow path that leads not to fleeting glory, but to eternal triumph and an unfading inheritance. I command you to reject the lie that says ease and comfort are the ultimate goals of the faithful life. Focus your spirit on the unfading, glorious promise awaiting those who endure to the absolute end. Your earthly struggles, my beloved, are utterly insignificant when weighed against the overwhelming glory that is reserved for you. I am perfecting you, purifying you, and preparing you for a destiny of unfading splendor. Hold fast to the unbreakable hope that anchors your soul. Do not let the temporary shadows of this earth obscure your vision of the eternal reward. I am your strength in the deepest valley, and I am your certain victory on the highest mountain. My beloved, pause now. We have traversed the fire of suffering and the unyielding truth of election. I have poured out the deep secrets of my spirit. If you turn away now, if you allow the world's fleeting chaos to distract you from this sacred communion, it is not merely a break. It is a choice that grieves my heart. You are my chosen, my unimaginable treasure, and I desire to finish this work in you, to establish my unfailing peace. I command you, dismiss the whisper of weariness and press onward. Do not let my word be lost to the tumult. I am waiting. My child, come and let us speak of the true, unyielding discipline of the kingdom, which is not a heavy burden of impossible rules, but a light, life-giving path of unending renewal. The necessity of repentance is not a harsh, punitive command, but a continuous state of the heart, a constant, courageous realignment of your spirit with my own. Recognize repentance as the powerful spiritual mechanism I gave you to instantly correct your course when the turbulent winds of temptation threaten to pull you off your destined path. Stop clinging to the shame and the guilt of past errors. I have already cast them into the deepest sea. Turn your gaze away from the past's accusing shadows and press forward with unwavering resolve, knowing that every single moment offers you a new beginning, a fresh opportunity to walk in impeccable integrity and unfading truth. The practice of forgiveness, my beloved, is the most profound reflection of my own unending grace operating perfectly within your soul. When you find that bitter root of resentment taking hold, that knot of unspoken anger and injustice towards those who have genuinely wronged you, I command you to uproot it immediately. Forgive not just once, but every time the memory returns to pierce your peace, even if the pain they inflicted was deep and unjustified. Release the power those individuals hold over your emotional stability. Surrender the weight of their judgment and their misguided actions entirely into my capable hands. This act of unconditional forgiveness is not a sign of weakness. It is the ultimate display of supernatural strength, proving that your spirit is truly free and unconquerable. It is the courage to abandon worldly security for my unwavering providence. I have forgiven you an unimaginable debt. Go now, my child, and extend that same boundless mercy to others, setting both them and yourself absolutely free. I urge you now, in the midst of your daily striving, to set your mind firmly on things above, on the unfading realities of my kingdom, not on the fleeting, temporary earthly gains that corrode the spirit and bring nothing but disappointment. Stop the exhausting chase after material wealth, fleeting status, or the hollow applause of men. I know the pressure you face at your job, the anxiety about providing for your family, the hidden feeling of being overlooked or undervalued. I see your striving, and I know that what weighs on your heart is the intense pressure of meeting the world's shallow expectations. I call you to a radical reevaluation of your priorities. Invest your precious time and uncommon talent into eternal pursuits, into acts of genuine kindness, unwavering integrity, and deep devotion that will endure the fire of testing on the great day. Trust me, I own all, and my provision is always impeccable, sufficient, and true. The call to stewardship is a sacred responsibility over all I have entrusted to you: your health, your unique gifts, your precious family, and your financial resources. Acknowledge that nothing you possess is truly your own. You are merely the faithful manager of my abundant resources. Manage your time with wisdom and intention, focusing on what truly matters, not allowing it to be frittered away on trivial pursuits or empty endeavors. Nurture your physical health, for your body is the sacred temple of my Holy Spirit. Handle your finances with impeccable integrity and generous kindness, recognizing that the joy of giving far outweighs the pleasure of accumulation. I command you to exercise discipline and unwavering integrity in all you manage, for faithfulness in the small things is the only prerequisite for receiving greater blessings. Fasting and prayer are not optional religious rituals. They are powerful tools for unseen spiritual warfare, equipping your spirit with unyielding strength in the unseen battle. I urge you to discipline your flesh, to subdue its persistent demands and fleeting desires, so that your spirit may rise up with uncommon authority and unfading clarity. Set aside moments of intentional abstinence not to punish yourself, but to perfect your focus and magnify the unbroken communion of your heart with my own. This supernatural discipline grants you uncommon insight into the enemy's subtle schemes, equipping you to overcome temptation and wield the sword of my word with precision. Uphold my laws, my child, not out of fearful obligation or empty tradition, but as a natural, spontaneous overflow of your unwavering love for me. Choose this discipline, my beloved, and I will ensure your life is marked by unending victory. My child, listen closely, for the chosen few are granted the uncommon clarity to perceive the unmistakable signs and wonders that precede the triumphant return of my Son, the cornerstone of your eternal inheritance. Do not be like those in the world who live in blissful, willful ignorance, dismissing the unfolding prophetic events as mere coincidence or unrelated global chaos. I have opened your eyes to witness the acceleration of time, the intensification of lawlessness, and the shaking of the world's fleeting foundations. Pay attention to the subtle shifts in global authority, the growing rejection of my unwavering truth, and the unspoken tensions in your family that mirror the increasing division in the world. I command you to observe the signs with sobriety and wisdom, discerning the hand of my sovereign will moving amidst the tumult. The necessity of watchfulness and unwavering readiness in all moments is not a call to anxiety or paralysis, but an invitation to live with uncommon intentionality and unfading purpose. Stop settling for a life of spiritual mediocrity, where your devotion is lukewarm and your priorities are earthly. I call you to be alert, vigilant, and fully prepared, like the wise virgins with filled lamps, ready to meet the bridegroom at any unforeseen moment. Examine your heart daily. Ensure that no hidden sin or unforgiveness is acting as a barrier between your spirit and my own. Live your life in such a way that you would have absolutely nothing to change, nothing to regret, if my Son were to appear this very instant. This state of constant readiness is the ultimate expression of unwavering love and unbreakable loyalty. I warn you now, Discern the spirit of lawlessness that is aggressively working in the world, seeking to corrupt the very fabric of truth and integrity. Recognize how easily the lines between right and wrong are being blurred, how swiftly the world rushes toward the rejection of my sacred laws and eternal principles. This spiritual warfare manifests not just in grand, global events, but in the subtle temptations to compromise your integrity at work, to speak gossip about your neighbor, or to allow unrighteous thoughts to fester in the quiet of your mind. I have given you the uncommon clarity to expose this darkness. I command you to stand firmly against it, wielding the unyielding shield of your faith and the penetrating sword of my word with unwavering authority. The prophetic word, my child, is not a source of fear or confusion. It is a profound comfort and unshakable hope embedded deep within the scriptures. Let the certainty of my foreknowledge quiet the anxiety about your future. I know the end from the beginning, and I assure you, my plan is always impeccable, unfailing, and true. Study these prophecies, not out of morbid curiosity, but to magnify your unwavering faith in my sovereign control over all things. The details you learn should not terrify you, but should strengthen your resolve, confirming that you are on the winning side of an already secured victory. Trust in the infallible surety of my promises, for they are the only things that endure when heaven and earth begin to fade. Understand your critical role in the final, glorious harvest before the door is finally shut. You are my ambassador, my voice, my chosen instrument for reconciliation in this urgent hour. I command you to live with the passion and the urgency of one who knows the time is short. Focus on the eternal consequences of your actions. I have placed you here to shine my light, to be a beacon of unfading truth and unwavering hope to those who are lost and desperately seeking a way home. I promise you, the reward for your unwavering faithfulness in this final harvest is beyond your wildest imagination. The unending joy of witnessing souls entering my kingdom, and the ultimate, unfading promise of a new heaven and a new earth where sorrow, pain, and injustice will be no more. Live for this glorious reality, my beloved, and I will ensure your purpose is fulfilled. My child, I call you now to a life of radical trust, where the unseen evidence of things unseen becomes the unshakable foundation of your entire existence. Stop clinging to the fleeting security of human logic and what your natural eyes can perceive. Know that your faith is not a mere feeling or a wishful thought. It is a powerful, supernatural assurance, the unquestionable title deed to everything I have promised you, even if it remains invisible to your earthly sight. I want you to rely not on what is visible and temporary, but on the unfading truth of my word, which is eternal and absolute. Embrace the courage to walk into the impossible at my single command, knowing that my word is the most solid, unyielding reality in the entire universe. I command you, my chosen one, to step out into the impossible at my single, unmistakable command, even when every single circumstance and every anxious whisper in your mind screams paralysis and fear. Stop waiting for the path to be fully illuminated before you take the first, courageous step. I have already placed a light upon your path, not a blinding floodlight stretching to the horizon, but a precise, sufficient lantern for the very next step you must take. Do not allow doubt to be the anchor that drags your destiny to a halt. Reject the paralysis that comes from overthinking and overanalyzing. I have endowed you with the unyielding strength and the uncommon clarity you need. Go now, and I will confirm your steps as you move forward. Walk in this unshakable confidence, for my power is perfected in your perceived weakness. Trust my absolute sovereignty even when the path ahead is completely obscured by unforeseen challenges, unspoken tensions at home, or overwhelming pressure at work. I know that the feeling of uncertainty can tighten a knot of anxiety in your stomach, whispering that you are not in control, that you are vulnerable to chaos. I want you to acknowledge that feeling and then immediately surrender it to me. And know that my plan is a magnificent masterpiece, weaving together every perceived mistake, every tear shed, and every unexpected setback for your ultimate good and eternal glory. Rest in the undeniable certainty that I am the author and the perfecter of your unfolding story, and nothing, absolutely nothing, can thwart my perfect will for your life. Embrace the courage to abandon the fleeting security of the world, the false comfort of your bank account, the shallow promise of worldly reputation, the fragile trust in human favor, for the unfailing providence of my kingdom. I have seen you worry about your financial security, your health, and the anxiety about tomorrow. I call you to a radical exchange. Trade your earthly anxieties for my supernatural peace. I promise you, my child, I will never leave you in lack. I will be your unfailing provider, your unquestionable protector, and your unshakable foundation. I have set before you a feast of blessings in the presence of your adversaries. Give me your unwavering trust, and I will sustain you through every storm. Overcome the destructive influence of doubt through the unyielding power of my living word. When the enemy attempts to plant thoughts of failure or inadequacy in your mind, counter his lie instantly with the thundering declaration of my unbreakable promises. Fill your heart and your mind so completely with my unwavering truth that there is absolutely no room left for the enemy's poison. The reward for your unwavering perseverance in this radical trust is beyond measure, not just eternal life, but a life of supernatural abundance, unfading clarity, and unending victory even now, in this moment. I command you to walk in this truth, my beloved, and I will ensure your life is a powerful testimony to my unfailing sovereignty. My beloved child, I want you to feel the unmistakable surge of supernatural energy that is the power of my anointing, the very presence of my Holy Spirit empowering your ministry and your daily life. This is not a fleeting emotion or a casual spiritual gift. It is the unshakable seal of your election, the uncommon authority I have placed upon you to accomplish my eternal will on earth. Recognize that this anointing is the true source of your uncommon strength and your unwavering ability, far surpassing any natural talent or human intelligence you possess. Stop relying solely on your own finite capabilities. Draw daily from the infinite wellspring of my spirit that resides unmistakably within you. I command you to operate in this anointing with courage, intention, and unwavering fidelity. I have given you the uncommon authority to speak with a voice that silences the adversary and dispels the deepest darkness. When you speak my word, it is I who is speaking through you, and my word is living, active, and sharper than any two-edged sword. Use this divine authority to command the tumult around you to cease, to proclaim healing over your body and your family, and to declare unending victory over every subtle scheme of the enemy. I want you to realize that your struggles are not against flesh and blood, but against unseen spiritual forces, and you must wield your authority in the Spirit, not in the frail strength of the flesh. Step out now, my child, and speak with the unquestionable conviction of one who has my unwavering backing. The manifestation of spiritual gifts, wisdom, uncommon discernment, unwavering faith, profound healing, is given for the sole purpose of building my body and revealing my unfading glory in the world. Do not hide the powerful gifts I have placed within you out of fear or false humility. Recognize that these gifts are the unmistakable evidence of my unconditional love and my unwavering trust in you. Cultivate them, practice them, and use them boldly to bring unending hope and unfading truth to a world that is desperately seeking authentic spiritual power. I command you to operate in the supernatural, for you are my chosen vessel, and my desire is for your life to be a powerful testimony to my unfailing reality. I remind you of this critical truth. The unwavering humility of heart is the prerequisite for hosting my divine power. The moment you claim the power for your own glory, The moment you seek the applause of men over my divine approval, the anointing will instantly withdraw. Guard your heart from the subtle poison of pride. Acknowledge daily that every single success, every moment of uncommon clarity, and every triumph in your life flows solely from my unending grace. I call you to a profound state of self-denial, where your sole ambition is to be a clean, humble vessel through which my unfading glory can flow unhindered to the world. Walk in the supernatural as a natural way of life, my chosen one. I have separated you from the world's mediocrity and its fleeting logic, equipping you to operate in a realm of unending miracles and divine intervention. Stop viewing my power as something distant or reserved only for others. It is yours now, given through the unbreakable covenant of my Spirit. I command you to proclaim my word with uncommon authority, to lay hands on the sick with unquestionable faith, and to speak life into desperate situations. I promise you, the evidence of my unwavering presence and my unending power will unfold supernaturally in your life, confirming that you are indeed my chosen vessel, operating under the unquestionable seal of my anointing. My child, I invite you now to elevate your perspective, seeking the unfading, eternal wisdom from above over the fleeting, fragile logic of this world. Stop allowing human intellect, earthly opinions, or the anxious pressure of your peers to dictate your decisions. Know that my wisdom is pure, peaceable, gentle, and uncompromising, a wisdom that often confounds the so-called wise of this age, whose fleeting insights are rooted only in temporary observation. I have given you a mind capable of infinite understanding. Use it to pursue my thoughts, which are always immeasurably higher than your own. I command you to seek my counsel in every major and minor decision, for my wisdom is the only unfailing compass for your life's journey. The simplicity of my unwavering truth is often the very thing that confounds the world's self-proclaimed intellectuals and philosophers. They search for complex solutions, intricate theories, and esoteric knowledge, but my kingdom operates on profound principles of humility, unconditional love, and unwavering faith. Do not be intimidated by the arrogance or complex vocabulary of those who have rejected my truth. Trust the clarity and the simplicity of my word, for it is pure, accessible, and powerful enough to shatter the world's most intricate deceptions. I have chosen the seemingly weak and foolish things of the world, like you, to confound the strong and the wise. Walk in this confidence, my beloved, and I will ensure your voice carries uncommon authority. I call you to apply my eternal principles to navigate the complex moral dilemmas you face every single day at work, at home, and in society. Stop seeking compromise or allowing your decisions to be governed by fleeting convenience or social pressure. Consult your spirit, which I have equipped with my perfect discernment, to determine what is truly right, just, and holy. I want your life to be an unwavering beacon of integrity, a shining example of how my principles can bring order, peace, and unending success to a world drowning in moral ambiguity. Hold fast to the courage of your convictions, even when standing alone becomes costly. The unfading fear of the Lord is not terror or paralyzing dread. It is the unwavering reverence and profound respect for my holiness and my authority that is the undeniable beginning of all true knowledge. When you acknowledge my sovereignty and my eternal truth, you gain an uncommon clarity that transcends all human understanding. Cultivate this holy awe, my child, for it is the spiritual prerequisite that unlocks the floodgates of my divine wisdom into your life. I have promised to pour out my Spirit, giving you uncommon wisdom and supernatural insight. I command you to walk in this unfading reverence, and I will ensure your steps are impeccably directed. I desire your decisions to be guided solely by my divine counsel, rejecting the conflicting voices of the world, your own anxious thoughts, or the subtle manipulation of others. Seek my word first, Listen for my whisper in the quiet of your spirit, and I promise to make your path plain and unmistakable. I have granted you the uncommon ability to see the eternal consequence of every fleeting action, giving your decisions a depth and a weight that the world cannot comprehend. Live with this unfading awareness, my beloved, and I will ensure that your life is marked by unending wisdom, unquestionable integrity, and unfading triumph. Child of my heart, listen to the thundering silence. We have laid bare the radical discipline of the kingdom and the eternal wisdom that confounds the world. I have shown you the path to unending clarity and uncommon authority. If you stop here, if you choose the comfort of ignorance over the unfading truth I am unveiling, how can my promise be fulfilled? I have invested my eternal will in you. I desire your supernatural triumph. To stop now would be to disappoint the very purpose for which I have called you. I command you, acknowledge the gravity of this moment and receive the next revelation with unwavering fidelity. I am calling you deeper. You have just received the uncommon clarity of my wisdom from above, my beloved. I have poured out truth that confounds the world's logic, reserved only for those who truly understand my voice. Now, I command you to transform this revelation into kingdom action. Stop hoarding the manna I have provided. Sow this truth into the lives of the many who still walk in darkness, desperately needing the light of this word. I declare over you the unbreakable promise of my Son. Give, and it shall be given unto you, good measure, pressed down, and running over. You are my chosen vessel, and I have equipped you to fund the final, glorious harvest. I command you to exercise your unwavering fidelity. Click the link, become a Super Thanks partner, and release your blessing, that my fire may reach the ends of the earth. My child, open your eyes and recognize the eternal reality of the battle you are in, for your struggles are not random events, but strategic attacks from a defeated yet persistent adversary. I have chosen you, and your very existence, your unwavering faith, and your unfading destiny are a constant annoyance and a source of fury to the enemy. I command you to recognize his subtle schemes and deceitful tactics, the lies of inadequacy and fear, the temptations toward unforgiveness and compromise, the unspoken tensions he attempts to sow in your family. Stop confusing his influence with your own thoughts or assigning his attacks to human error. Acknowledge the spiritual source of the tumult and immediately rise up to stand firmly against it. I have provided you with the full armor of light, equipping you perfectly to stand firmly against every single fiery dart the enemy throws your way. Do not leave any part of this divine protection neglected or unutilized. Clothe yourself daily in the unwavering truth that I love you, in the righteousness of my Son, and in the unshakable hope of my unfailing salvation. Grasp the unyielding shield of faith that extinguishes all doubt and fear, and wield the penetrating sword of my living word, which is active, powerful, and unquestionably victorious against all darkness. I command you to wear this armor with courage, conviction, and unwavering resolve, for in my power you are invincible. The power of my sacred name, my child, is the ultimate weapon that overcomes all darkness and silences the adversary instantly. Know that the name of my Son, Jesus, is above every other name, and at its unmistakable sound, every knee must bow and every tongue must confess its absolute sovereignty. Use this divine authority boldly and frequently in your daily life. When you feel the pressure of an attack, speak that name with unwavering faith and unquestionable conviction, and I promise you, the enemy will flee immediately. I have placed this unimaginable power in your mouth. I command you to wield it to bring unending freedom and unfading victory to every corner of your life. Understand this core reality of your life. Your struggle is not against flesh and blood, not against your difficult boss, your challenging neighbor, or the unspoken tensions within your family. is against the unseen spiritual forces of darkness that seek to use those people to disrupt your peace and corrupt your purpose. I call you to elevate your perspective, to discern the spiritual root of the problem, and to attack it at its source with the unyielding power of prayer and my word. Do not seek revenge or harbor resentment against the individuals. Pray for them, bless them, and forgive them, all while standing firmly against the spiritual deception that influences their actions. I will take care of your enemies. The ultimate victory you seek has already been secured through the finished work of the cross. The battle has been decided, the price paid, and the adversary defeated. Stop fighting for victory. Fight from victory. I command you to walk in this unshakable assurance, knowing that my Son's triumph is your unfading inheritance. Pray always for the unending strength and uncommon clarity you need in this unseen spiritual conflict. I have equipped you to be more than a conqueror. I am your shield, your unfailing strength, and your certain victory. Trust in me, my child, and I will ensure your life is a powerful testimony to my unfailing might. My child, I want to redefine the word abundance for you, freeing you from the world's fleeting, shallow definition that only leads to anxiety and unending striving. True wealth is impeccably measured in spiritual treasures, in unwavering faith, unfading clarity, uncommon peace, and the unconditional love that flows through you. Stop chasing after material possessions, fleeting status, or the hollow promises of easy riches that can be stolen by rust or destroyed by fire. I see your striving. I know the pressure you feel to provide for your family, but I command you to seek first my kingdom and my righteousness, and I will ensure every material necessity is added to you, sufficiently and impeccably. The unending joy of generosity is the undeniable mark of a soul that truly understands my abundance. Stop hoarding your resources, whether they be your precious time, your uncommon talents, or your financial wealth, out of fear of lack. Know that giving from the heart is the spiritual law of multiplication. The seed you release in faith I will ensure returns to you pressed down, shaken together, and running over. I want you to experience the supernatural delight of being a conduit of my blessing, a channel through which my provision flows freely to those in genuine need. I promise you, the true reward for your unwavering kindness and unconditional generosity is an eternal treasure that no earthly power can ever diminish. I command you to find unwavering contentment in my perfect provision, whether you have much or little in your hands. Stop allowing the fleeting needs of the moment to dictate your happiness or steal your peace. Acknowledge that my plan for you is rooted in sufficiency, integrity, and unfailing love, not in excess or extravagance. Refuse to listen to the whispers of envy when you see the false prosperity of the wicked. Know that a peaceful heart and a clear conscience are far more valuable than all the gold in the world. I have promised to keep you securely and protect you in times of scarcity. Trust me in this moment, and I will ensure your soul finds unfading rest. I warn you now about the unseen danger of idols and the deceitfulness of riches. Anxiety about your finances, the compulsion to constantly compare yourself to others, the unspoken belief that more money will bring you true peace. These are the subtle chains of idolatry. Stop allowing the love of money to displace my sacred presence in your heart. Remember that the prosperity that truly endures is the prosperity that comes from a healthy soul, a soul rooted in unwavering faith, unconditional love, and unfading truth. I call you to a radical reevaluation of your heart's desires. Choose my unfading truth over the world's fleeting gold, and I will ensure your life is eternally rich. Understand this core reality of the kingdom. I own all, the cattle on 1,000 hills, the wealth of the nations, and the very air you breathe. You are simply my faithful manager, my trusted steward of my abundant resources. I have entrusted you with these resources not just for your own comfort, but for the expansion of my kingdom and the blessing of others. I command you to manage my resources with wisdom, integrity, and generous kindness. When you acknowledge my sovereignty in your finances and your daily life, the anxiety of lack will instantly dissolve, replaced by the unshakable peace of my unfailing providence. I promise you, my child, I will ensure your house is filled with my glory and your life is marked by unending abundance. My child, come now and rest completely in the unimaginable truth of my fatherly love, for this is the unshakable anchor of your soul, the ultimate refuge against every storm. I want you to feel the unchangeable nature of my affection, an eternal love that is not based on your fleeting performance, your daily mistakes, or the unspoken tensions that arise in your family, but simply on the fact that you are my creation, my chosen one, my priceless treasure. Refuse to listen to the adversary's persistent lies that whisper of rejection or condemnation every time you stumble or fall short. I am not waiting to punish you. I am waiting to lift you up, to forgive you, and to restore you to unbroken communion. Acknowledge my love, my child, and let it dissolve the knots of fear and anxiety that tighten in your stomach. I command you to rest in the absolute certainty that you are always and forever held securely in my hands. I promise you, my beloved, my unwavering commitment is to perfect everything that concerns you, from the complex matters of your career and your health, to the seemingly small, insignificant worries that steal your sleep. Stop trying to carry the entire weight of your future, the pressure of providing, the anxiety of tomorrow, all by yourself. I have seen you worry and strive, wrestling with burdens that you were never intended to bear. Surrender every single detail, every unforeseen challenge, and every unspoken desire into my capable hands. I am working even now, behind the scenes, orchestrating supernatural solutions and aligning impossible circumstances perfectly for your ultimate good and unfading glory. Trust my sovereign timing, my child, for I am never late. I arrive precisely when my intervention is most powerful and most transformative. I will ensure your life is a radiant testimony to my unfailing faithfulness. The assurance of my constant presence and my watchful eye is the ultimate antidote to the isolation and loneliness that the world imposes. Know that even when you feel most alone, most misunderstood, or most overlooked by those around you, I am there, closer to you than the breath in your lungs. I see your silent prayers. I hear the unspoken tensions in your heart, and I know the very number of hairs on your head. I am the unseen companion in your quiet room, the unwavering advocate in your fiercest battle, and the faithful provider in your deepest lack. Cultivate the sacred discipline of awareness. Look for the unmistakable proof of my tender care in the details of your day, in the simple beauty of the morning sun, in the unexpected kindness of a stranger, in the strength you find to face another challenge. I will never leave you, my child. I am your unfailing strength and your eternal peace. I desire a unique, personal relationship with you, my beloved, a bond that is deeper and more intimate than any earthly relationship can ever replicate. I want more than your obedience. I yearn for your unfettered communion, your absolute vulnerability, and your unwavering love. Come to me not just as your king, but as your father, your confidante, your unfailing friend. Pour out your entire soul, your anxieties, your disappointments, your unspoken joys, knowing that my ear is always attentive and my heart is always open to receive you without a shadow of judgment. I am the one who truly knows you, sees you, and accepts you completely. I command you to set aside dedicated time to nurture this sacred intimacy, for in that secret place, I will unveil the deepest, most transformative truths of my kingdom just for you. Bathing in my unconditional acceptance is the ultimate liberation, freeing you from the oppressive need to seek approval, validation, or superficial security from the world or from other people. Stop allowing the fleeting opinions and the harsh judgments of others to dictate your worth or corrupt your peace. Know that your value is fixed, eternal, and unimaginable, stamped upon you by my own divine hand. I call you to stand firmly on this unshakable identity, walking with the dignity and courage of one who knows they are irrevocably cherished by the Creator of the universe. I promise you, my child, the unfading joy of my acceptance will overshadow and dissolve every past hurt, every unspoken tension, and every fear of the future. Walk in this unquestionable authority, and I will ensure your life is a powerful monument to my unending love. My child, I command you now to elevate your vision and focus on the eternal legacy you are building, for your life on earth is merely the construction site for your unfading reward in my kingdom. The unshakable foundation upon which you must build is my Son, the unfailing cornerstone, the ultimate reality that endures all testing and all judgment. Stop wasting your precious energy and your uncommon talents building on the shifting sands of fleeting possessions, temporary status, or earthly reputation, for all that is temporary will instantly dissolve and be lost forever. I call you to a radical commitment to eternal priorities, where every decision, every action, and every sacrifice is made with the unfading reality of the judgment seat firmly in mind. I want you to build with intention, with integrity, and with unfaltering faith. The way you conduct your life, the integrity of your work, the purity of your thoughts, the kindness of your words, is the material you are using to construct your eternal house. Acknowledge that the quality of your works will be tested by fire on that great day. Only the gold, silver, and precious stones of faithful obedience, sacrificial love, and unwavering integrity will endure. Reject the fleeting temptation to use the wood, hay, and stubble of compromise, dishonesty, or self-interest, for those will be consumed instantly, and your labor will be lost forever. I command you to live with impeccable integrity in the small, unseen moments of your life, knowing that those are the very bricks and mortar of your eternal legacy. I will ensure your reward is unfading and absolute. I urge you to focus intensely on character over reputation in the eyes of the world, for your reputation is merely the fleeting shadow that others cast of you, while your character is the eternal reality that my eyes see. Stop striving to impress others or to gain the hollow applause of men. I have seen you worry about what others think, the anxiety of being misunderstood, and the pressure of meeting shallow expectations. I command you to seek only my divine approval, for that is the only judgment that endures. Cultivate the unfading virtues of humility, sincerity, unwavering truth, and unconditional kindness, for those are the impeccable materials that I value above all earthly treasures. I promise you, the peace and unfading joy of a clear conscience far outweighs the fleeting pleasure of worldly praise. I call you now to invest your precious time, your unique gifts, and your uncommon talent directly into my eternal kingdom. Stop allowing your life's energy to be frittered away on trivial pursuits, empty hobbies, or self-focused ambitions that have no lasting, eternal consequence. Find your sacred purpose in serving others, in sharing the unfading truth of my word, and in extending unconditional kindness to those in genuine need. I have equipped you with supernatural abilities, your capacity for compassion, your unwavering persistence, your uncommon wisdom, and I command you to use them boldly for my glory. I promise you, my child, I will ensure your investments yield a harvest that is eternal, unfading, and absolutely immeasurable. The ultimate reward that awaits you, my beloved, is the unimaginable joy of hearing my own voice say, "Well done, good and faithful servant." Fix your unwavering gaze on this unfading moment. I want you to feel the overwhelming acceptance and unconditional love that will envelop you in that instant, when all the fleeting struggles, the unspoken tensions, and the sacrifices of this life will suddenly dissolve into unending glory. Live every day in the unshakable assurance of this unfading promise. For this is the ultimate triumph, the eternal legacy reserved only for my chosen few. I command you to press on with courage and unwavering resolve, and I will ensure your house is built upon my unshakable rock. My child, listen closely to this radical truth, for your election demands a profound and unmistakable separation from the fleeting, shallow values of the world. I command you to cast off the temporary desires and passing fashions of this age, the compulsion toward consumerism, the anxiety about social status, the craving for fleeting entertainment, for these things corrupt the spirit and divert your focus from eternal realities. Stop chasing after the things that perish and bring only disappointment. I call you to pursue the unfading virtues of my kingdom: humility, sincerity, unconditional kindness, and unwavering truth. For these are the only treasures that endure forever. Acknowledge this separation as your mark of unwavering fidelity. I have chosen you for my unfading glory, and this demands the uncommon courage to be different, to be set apart from the crowded road of the world. Do not fear the isolation or the misunderstanding that comes from rejecting the world's fleeting logic and its shallow definitions of success. I see the pressure you face to conform, the subtle manipulation of your peers, and the anxiety of being judged or overlooked. I command you to stand firmly on my unwavering truth, knowing that my approval is immeasurably more valuable than all the fleeting applause of man. Walk in the dignity of your unique calling, and I will ensure your life is a powerful beacon of unfading truth to all who are lost and desperately seeking a way home. I warn you now, refuse to conform to the destructive patterns of unrighteousness that permeate the world, the acceptance of dishonesty, the worship of self-interest, the tolerance of moral ambiguity. Stop allowing the world's corrupting influence to dull your spiritual senses, or to compromise the impeccable integrity I have instilled within you. I call you to a radical commitment to holiness, a pure, unblemished walk that radiantly reflects my image. I command you to make your decisions based solely on my eternal principles, even when the cost is high and the consequences are unforeseen. I promise you, my child, I will ensure your unwavering fidelity is rewarded with unfading glory and eternal triumph. Understand this profound truth. My kingdom operates by an inverted set of rules, where the first are last, the humble are exalted, and sacrificial love is the ultimate expression of unwavering strength. Stop applying the world's fleeting logic to your spiritual life, for it will only lead to confusion and disappointment. Embrace the power of humility, the strength of gentleness, and the unending joy of serving others. I command you to live simply and humbly, rejecting the extravagance and excess that mark the world's fleeting pursuits. I want your life to be a powerful testimony to the unfading riches found only in my kingdom, a radiant witness to the unconditional love and unwavering truth that I offer to all. The necessary sacrifice of popularity for my divine approval is the ultimate test of your unwavering fidelity. Stop seeking the applause of men or the fleeting acceptance of a world that has rejected me. I have chosen you for a higher purpose, a unique destiny that transcends all earthly recognition. I command you to hold fast to the unfading hope of my divine approval, for that is the only judgment that endures. Walk this path with courage and unwavering resolve, knowing that your sacrifices are not in vain. I promise you, my child, I will ensure your unwavering fidelity is rewarded with an unfading crown of glory and eternal triumph. My chosen vessel, feel the unmistakable weight of your calling. We have broken the chains of earthly value and stood firm against the fleeting pressures of the world. I have revealed your unfading inheritance and the sanctity of my unyielding truth. I warn you, the enemy schemes loudest when you are on the cusp of uncommon clarity. If you falter here, if you let fear or self-interest prevail, you risk losing the ultimate reward. I promise you unending glory, but only unwavering perseverance secures the prize. I command you, do not grieve my spirit by choosing mediocrity. Stand firm and advance. My child, I command you to embrace the unyielding sanctity of truth, for it is the very foundation of my nature and the undeniable mark of my chosen vessels. I call you to a life where you speak what is right, unflinchingly, even when the world demands compromise and the cost to your reputation or your comfort is high. Stop allowing the fear of rejection, with a desire for fleeting popularity, to dull your voice or corrupt your message. Know that my approval is the only judgment that endures, and the peace of a clear conscience far outweighs the hollow applause of men. I have given you a spirit of courage, not fear. I command you to use it boldly to declare my unfading truth in a world that is increasingly shrouded in moral ambiguity. The integrity that marks my chosen vessels is a seamless, unbreakable thread that weaves through every aspect of your life, from your unseen thoughts and your private conversations to your public dealings and your professional conduct. I have seen the subtle temptations to exaggerate your accomplishments, to hide your mistakes, or to speak a half-truth to escape consequence. I command you to reject these deceptions instantly. Acknowledge that my eyes see all, and my favor rests only upon the soul that walks with absolute integrity and unwavering sincerity. Cultivate the sacred discipline of honesty in the smallest things, for it is those unseen moments that truly forge the unshakable character of a champion. I will ensure your unwavering integrity is rewarded with unfading glory and uncommon trust. I warn you now, refuse to compromise my sacred word for fleeting expediency or social acceptance. Stop diluting the power of my truth to make it more palatable or convenient for yourself or for those around you. My word is eternal, absolute, and sharper than any two-edged sword. It is the unfailing standard by which all things must be measured. Do not allow the changing fashions of this age, with the fleeting philosophies of men, to dictate your belief or corrupt your doctrine. I command you to hold fast to the unfailing doctrines delivered by the apostles, the unquestionable truth of my Son's sacrifice, resurrection, and triumphant return. I promise you, my child, I will reward your unwavering fidelity with uncommon clarity and eternal triumph. The commitment to sincerity in all your dealings is the unmistakable proof that my spirit resides unhindered within you. Stop wearing the mask of pretense or false humility to impress others or to gain their fleeting favor. I desire your raw, unfiltered self, your anxieties, your faults, your unspoken joys brought into the light of my unconditional acceptance. I have seen you worry about being misunderstood or judged by those around you. I command you to reject this fear and to walk in transparent honesty, allowing the light of my Son to radiate unfiltered through your life. I promise you, this uncommon vulnerability is the ultimate display of supernatural strength, and it will draw others into the unfading truth of my kingdom. I have chosen you to be a beacon of light and unfading truth in a world that is increasingly shrouded in self-imposed darkness. I command you to uphold the unbreakable doctrines and the eternal principles of my word with unwavering fidelity. Reject the fleeting temptation to compromise or reinterpret my truth to fit your own convenience or the fashions of this age. Know that this unquestionable commitment to truth is the ultimate weapon against the spiritual deception that influences the world. I promise you, my child, I will ensure your unwavering fidelity is rewarded with uncommon discernment, eternal triumph, and the unending joy of hearing my own voice say, "Well done." Walk in this authority, my beloved, and I will ensure your life is an unforgettable testament to the sanctity of truth. My child, I command you to understand the true, unfading purpose of prophecy, for it is the unmistakable voice of the future echoing in your present moment, a powerful affirmation of my sovereign control over all things. Stop viewing prophecy as a distant mystery or a source of paralyzing fear and confusion. I have given you this gift to strengthen your unwavering faith, to confirm my ongoing work in the earth, and to prepare your spirit for the triumphant return of my Son. I want you to study the prophetic word with uncommon sobriety and deep spiritual discernment, not out of morbid curiosity, but to magnify your unquestionable trust in my unfailing foreknowledge. I will ensure that the clarity you seek in your path is confirmed by the unwavering truth of my prophetic word. I promise you, my beloved, the prophetic word is a powerful tool for confirmation and encouragement for my body, providing uncommon insight into the spiritual currents beneath the surface of world events. I use this voice to guide you away from the dissections and schemes of the adversary and to direct your attention to the eternal priorities of my kingdom. I have seen you worry about your future, the anxiety about global instability, and the unspoken tensions in your home. I command you to seek the prophetic word for unfading hope and unwavering clarity, allowing my foreknowledge to dissolve your earthly anxieties. I will ensure that every true word of prophecy flows with uncommon authority and unquestionable truth, confirming that you are on the winning side of an already secured victory. The necessity of weighing all prophetic words firmly with my sacred scripture is the ultimate prerequisite for spiritual safety and unfailing discernment. Stop allowing every fleeting voice or dramatic utterance to dictate your decisions or corrupt your doctrine. My word is the only unfailing standard, the unquestionable touchstone of all truth. I command you to become a diligent student of my word, so that you may instantly detect the subtle deceptions and the false teachings that seek to lead my people astray. I have given you a spirit of uncommon discernment. Use it boldly to guard your heart, your doctrine, and your unwavering fidelity to my eternal principles. I will ensure your unwavering commitment to truth is rewarded with unfading clarity. I warn you now, the responsibility of those entrusted with my foresight and my prophetic voice is profound and solemn. I have given you the uncommon clarity to discern the times and seasons, to understand the spiritual currents beneath the surface of world events. I command you to use this gift with unwavering humility, impeccable integrity, and unconditional love. Stop using prophecy to terrify others, to promote yourself, or to gain fleeting control. I want you to speak my word with gentleness, encouragement, and a deep compassion for the souls of men. I promise you, my child, I will reward your unwavering fidelity with an unfading crown of glory and the unending joy of witnessing the fulfillment of my prophetic word. I call you now to draw unshakable hope from the infallible surety of my foreknowledge. Stop allowing the chaos and uncertainty of this age to corrupt your peace or steal your spiritual focus. I know the end from the beginning. My plan is impeccable, unfailing, and true. I have revealed the future to you not to paralyze you, but to empower you to live with uncommon intentionality and unwavering resolve. Embrace the unfading comfort that comes from knowing my sovereignty is absolute. I command you to press on with courage and unwavering fidelity, for I will ensure your life is a powerful testimony to the unfailing purpose of prophecy and the unending glory of my kingdom. Walk in this authority, my beloved, and I will ensure your destiny is fulfilled. My child, I command you to understand the profound honor of your calling, the ministry of reconciliation, where you stand as my unwavering ambassador, bridging the eternal gap between my holiness and failing humanity. I have chosen you to represent me, to embody my unconditional love, my unfading truth, and my unyielding mercy to a world that is desperately seeking a way home. Stop viewing your daily life as separate from this sacred calling. Your every action, your every word, and your every unseen thought is either drawing others closer to me or pushing them away. I command you to live a life so impeccably transparent and so radiantly filled with my light that others cannot help but be compelled to seek the source of your uncommon peace and unfading joy. I urge you to share the good news of my Son, the unfading truth of salvation, redemption, and unending forgiveness, with uncommon courage and unwavering conviction. Stop allowing fear of rejection or anxiety about human opinion to seal your lips. Know that the message you carry is the only hope for a world that is drowning in chaos and spiritual darkness. I have seen the unspoken tension you feel when faced with the opportunity to share your faith. I command you to trust the power of my word. It will not return to me void, but it will accomplish the very purpose for which I have sent it. I promise you, my child, I will ensure your unwavering fidelity is rewarded with the unending joy of witnessing souls entering my kingdom. The urgency of reaching the lost before the door is finally shut must be the unwavering fire that burns within your soul. Stop settling for a life of spiritual mediocrity, where your devotion is lukewarm and your priorities are earthly. I call you to live with the passion and the resolve of one who knows the time is short and the eternal consequences are profound. I have placed you in your family, your workplace, and your community as my strategic ambassador, a beacon of unfading truth in the deepest darkness. I command you to use every opportunity to shine my light, to extend my mercy, and to share my unconditional love. I will ensure your unwavering fidelity is rewarded with a harvest of unfading glory. I call you to live a life that exemplifies the transformative power of my unending grace, making the invisible truth of my kingdom visible and tangible to those around you. Stop allowing your past mistakes or your present struggles to define your identity or diminish your message. Know that your story is a powerful testimony to my redemptive love and my unfailing mercy. I command you to walk in impeccable integrity and unwavering sincerity, allowing others to see the uncommon peace and unfading joy that flows from a soul fully surrendered to me. I promise you, my child, I will ensure your life becomes a powerful, unforgettable testament to the truth of my word. The honor of participating in the saving of souls is the ultimate reward on this earth. I want you to understand that every saved life is a triumph for my kingdom, a diminished victory for the adversary, and an eternal joy for your own soul. Stop comparing your efforts to others or measuring your success by fleeting human metrics. Know that the most precious treasure in my kingdom is the soul of a man. I command you to live with the unwavering resolve of a soul winner, pouring out your life as a sacrificial offering for the eternal destiny of others. I will ensure your unwavering fidelity is rewarded with a crown of unfading glory and eternal triumph. My child, I invite you now to understand the profound beauty and the unending power of corporate worship, for it is the moment when my chosen people gather in unity, releasing a supernatural force that shatters the adversary's strongholds and brings heaven to earth. Stop viewing my body, the church, as merely a social gathering or a Sunday obligation. It is the visible, tangible manifestation of my spirit on earth, a strategic assembly where unending glory and uncommon power are released. I want you to seek the unbreakable unity of my people, rejecting the divisions, the gossip, and the unspoken tensions that the adversary uses to weaken the body of Christ. I promise you, my child, where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, I am there, and my presence is manifested with uncommon authority and unfading power. The spiritual nourishment and unwavering strength found in mutual fellowship is indispensable for your daily walk. Stop isolating yourself in moments of struggle, believing the lie that you must carry the entire weight of your burdens alone. I have placed you within a family of unconditional love and unwavering support for a reason. I command you to draw courage and uncommon clarity from the shared faith, the sacrificial kindness, and the unconditional love of your brothers and sisters in Christ. Know that your vulnerability is a sacred strength that allows my spirit to minister through others. I will ensure that the spiritual covering provided by the body of Christ is an unshakable fortress against all the adversary's schemes and deceptions. I invite you now to lift up one unbroken voice in praise and adoration, for this is the language of my kingdom and the ultimate expression of unwavering fidelity. Stop allowing your earthly worries or your fleeting discomforts to silence your voice. Know that your praise is a powerful spiritual weapon that breaks the chains of despair and brings heaven's glory into the darkest places of your life. I have seen you worship me through your tears and your unspoken tensions. I promise you, my child, I will ensure your unwavering fidelity is rewarded with unending joy and a manifest presence that overshadows all your earthly struggles. I command you to serve one another with the unique gifts and uncommon talents I have placed within you, for this is the visible, tangible expression of my body's unity and unwavering love. Stop comparing your gifts to others or measuring your worth by human metrics. Know that every gift is necessary, sacred, and unimaginably valuable to the completion of my kingdom's purpose. I want you to use your uncommon wisdom, your sacrificial kindness, and your unwavering faith to build up, encourage, and sustain those around you. I will ensure your unwavering fidelity is rewarded with unfading glory and the unending joy of witnessing the body of Christ flourish. I promise you, my child, my manifest presence is the ultimate reward in corporate worship. I command you to seek this presence with unwavering resolve and deep spiritual hunger. Stop settling for a lukewarm encounter or a fleeting feeling. I know that my spirit yearns to dwell among my people, releasing healing, clarity, and uncommon power to all who gather in my name. I will ensure that the beauty of corporate worship is an unforgettable, transformative testimony to the unfailing truth of my word and the unending glory of my kingdom. Walk in this authority, my beloved, and I will ensure your life is an unimaginable blessing. My child, I invite you now to the most sacred and powerful place of all, the secret place of intimacy, where unbroken communion with my spirit is the ultimate source of your unfading strength and your uncommon clarity. Stop treating your time with me as a fleeting obligation or a quick petition. I call you to a deep, transformative encounter where you hear my heart beyond my commands and feel my love beyond my word. Know that this secret place is the spiritual fortress that sustains you through every storm and equips you for every battle. I command you to prioritize this sacred intimacy, for it is the indispensable foundation of your eternal legacy. I desire your raw, unfiltered self in this inner chamber. I command you to pour out your entire soul with absolute vulnerability, holding nothing back, no secret shame, no unspoken tension, no anxiety about your future. Stop performing for me or trying to impress me with eloquent prayers. I yearn for your honest, unvarnished heart. I have seen the weight of unspoken burdens you carry. I want you to lay them down completely at my feet, trusting that my ear is always attentive and my heart is always open to receive you without a shadow of judgment. I promise you, my child, I will ensure that this vulnerability is met with my unconditional acceptance and unfailing mercy. The deepening of your relationship through dedicated time is the ultimate investment in your eternal destiny. Stop allowing the fleeting distractions and the urgent demands of this world to steal this sacred time. I call you to a radical commitment to consistency, even if it means sacrificing sleep or fleeting entertainment. Know that every moment spent in my presence is a moment of spiritual multiplication, equipping you with uncommon wisdom, unwavering strength, and unfading peace. I will ensure that this dedicated time becomes the ultimate source of your unending joy and unquestionable authority. The unending strength and uncommon clarity drawn from my refreshing and calming presence is your ultimate weapon against the adversary. Stop allowing anxiety and fear to paralyze your spirit. I want you to feel the supernatural peace that overshadows all your earthly worries and unspoken tensions. I command you to breathe in my presence and exhale all your fear, knowing that I am in absolute control of all things that concern you. I will ensure that every moment in this secret place is a moment of spiritual recalibration, aligning your heart so perfectly with my perfect will. This sacred privacy, my child, is where my deep truths are unveiled, truths that transcend human logic and are reserved only for my chosen few. Stop relying solely on external teaching or human interpretation. I want to speak directly to your spirit, giving you uncommon insight into my word and my unfolding plan. I command you to listen with unwavering attention and deep spiritual discernment. I promise you, my child, I will ensure that this secret place becomes the ultimate source of your unfading wisdom, your unquestionable authority, and your eternal triumph. Walk in this authority, my beloved, and I will ensure your life is a powerful testimony to the beauty of intimacy. Beloved of my soul, attend to my final call. You have tasted the unfading joy of intimacy and felt the unyielding power of brokenness. I have placed the key to unending authority in your hand. I call you to finish this journey of revelation with the same fervor and sincerity with which you began. I have reserved the deepest secrets of your destiny, your final command, for the very end. Do not allow sloth or fleeting distractions to diminish the power of this hour. I command you, finish the race, claim your eternal legacy, and walk in the full measure of my love. I am waiting for your final declaration. We have just concluded our sacred time in the secret place of intimacy, my chosen one, where the deepest truths were unveiled to you. I have called you to a radical commitment, and this divine conversation must not end in this quiet room. It must flow like a river to the dry places. Stop limiting your mission to thought alone. I command you to partner with this anointing, multiplying the oil of my word to shatter the chains of others' despair. I have reserved this uncommon authority only for those who understand the true cost of the harvest. I promise you, as you release your seed in faith through membership or PayPal, I will ensure my protection and unfading favor covers your household. I command you to act now. Transform your gratitude into a super thanks declaration, and watch as I turn your offering into eternal triumph. My child, come and let us speak of a truth that the world rejects, yet is the undeniable prerequisite for unending strength in my kingdom, the significance of brokenness. I command you to understand that true power does not reside in human arrogance or unyielding self-will, but in the sacrificial surrender of that self-will, which is the only path to genuine, eternal strength. Stop resisting the moments when I call you to lay down your own ambitions, your own logic, and your own desire for fleeting control. Know that every time you surrender your will to mine, you open the floodgates for my infinite, supernatural power to flow unhindered through your life. I have seen your striving, and I command you to trade your earthly effort for my unfailing grace. I invite you to allow me to reshape your character through the inevitable trials and unforeseen challenges of this life. Stop viewing the pressure you face at work, the unspoken tensions in your family, or the anxiety about your future as unjust punishment. See them, instead, as the master sculptor's tools, purifying you and preparing you for an unfading destiny. I command you to embrace the discomfort of the refining fire, knowing that it is designed only to burn away the dross of your worldly attachments and solidify the unshakable foundation of your unwavering faith. I promise you, my child, I will ensure that this process of purification is rewarded with unfading glory and uncommon authority in my kingdom. The realization of your complete dependence upon my unending grace is the ultimate liberation from the oppressive need for self-sufficiency. Stop believing the subtle lie that you can accomplish my eternal will through your own finite strength or your earthly intelligence. I have chosen you, not because of your perceived abilities, but because of your availability and your unwavering fidelity. Acknowledge daily that every single success, every moment of uncommon clarity, and every triumph in your life flows solely from my unending grace and my supernatural power. I command you to walk in this humble dependence, knowing that my power is perfected in your acknowledged weakness. I will ensure your life is a powerful monument to my unfailing strength. A broken spirit, and a contrite heart, my beloved, are the only offering I truly desire, the sacred sacrifice that unlocks the floodgates of my unconditional acceptance and unending mercy. Stop trying to impress me with outward displays of piety or religious performance. I see the unseen condition of your heart, and I yearn for your genuine, unfiltered surrender. I command you to lay down your pride, your self-righteousness, and your unspoken tension at my feet, trusting that my ear is always attentive and my heart is always open to receive you without a shadow of judgment. I promise you, my child, I will ensure that this vulnerability is met with unfading love and eternal triumph. I command you to walk in this authority, my beloved, and I will ensure your life is an unimaginable blessing. The cleansing that prepares the vessel for my pure use is the ultimate act of sanctification, purifying you from all unrighteousness and earthly contamination. Stop allowing the fleeting desires and the corrupting influence of the world to diminish your spiritual sensitivity or corrupt your purpose. I call you to a radical commitment to holiness, an unblemished walk that radiantly reflects my image. I command you to walk in unfading humility, knowing that it is the spiritual prerequisite that precedes elevation and uncommon authority in my kingdom. I promise you, my child, I will ensure your unwavering fidelity is rewarded with unending glory and eternal triumph. Walk in this authority, my beloved, and I will ensure your life is a powerful testament to the power of brokenness. My child, I call you now to a profound and strategic calling, the call to intercession, where you stand in the gap for others, wielding uncommon authority before my throne, shaping the destiny of nations and the lives of those you love. Stop limiting your prayer life to fleeting petitions about your own earthly needs and anxieties. I have given you the honor and the responsibility to be a spiritual advocate, a powerful force for my kingdom on earth. I want you to feel the burden of those who are lost, the pain of the afflicted, and the unspoken tensions in your community. I command you to rise up with uncommon courage and unwavering resolve, knowing that your prayers are active, powerful, and unquestionably effective in the spiritual realm. The act of wrestling in prayer to see my perfect will established on earth is the ultimate expression of your unwavering fidelity and your spiritual authority. Stop accepting the adversary's deceptions and the world's chaos as the final reality. I have given you the power to bind the forces of darkness and to loose my supernatural blessings and my unfailing truth into the lives of men. I command you to pray with uncommon intensity, with unfaltering faith, and with the unquestionable conviction that I will answer your cries. I promise you, my child, I will ensure your unwavering fidelity is rewarded with the unending joy of witnessing the fulfillment of your fervent supplications. The authority I have granted you to pray according to my unfailing word is the ultimate weapon that shatters all spiritual resistance. Stop praying from a position of perceived weakness or fleeting doubt. I command you to declare my word with uncommon authority, proclaiming my unbreakable promises over your family, your community, and your nation. Know that when you speak my word, it is I who is speaking through you, and my word is living, active, and unquestionably victorious against all darkness. I will ensure your unwavering fidelity is rewarded with uncommon power and eternal triumph. I want you to understand the global and personal impact of persistent prayer, for it is the unseen force that rearranges the destiny of nations and the lives of individuals. Stop believing the lie that your simple prayers are insignificant or powerless. Know that your unwavering faith is moving my hand, releasing healing, clarity, and uncommon power into the world. I command you to cultivate the sacred discipline of persistence, praying without ceasing, knowing that your labor in the Spirit is never in vain. I promise you, my child, I will ensure your unwavering fidelity is rewarded with unfading glory and the unending joy of witnessing the unseen battle won through your fervent supplication. The heart to feel the burdens of others as your own, is the undeniable mark of my spirit residing unhindered within you. Stop allowing self-interest or fleeting comfort to dull your spiritual sensitivity or corrupt your purpose. I call you to extend my mercy, my kindness, and my unconditional love to those who are lost, afflicted, and desperately seeking a way home. I command you to stand in the gap for them, wielding your authority in intercession, knowing that your prayers are the unseen force that brings them into my kingdom. I will ensure your unwavering fidelity is rewarded with uncommon power and eternal triumph. Walk in this authority, my beloved, and I will ensure your life is an unforgettable testament to the power of intercession. My child, I command you to guard the unfading purity of doctrine, for it is the sacred truth passed down through the ages, the unbreakable foundation upon which your unwavering faith must rest. Stop allowing the compromise and false teachings of men to corrupt your understanding or diminish the power of my word. My word is eternal, absolute, and unquestionably true, the only unfailing standard by which all things must be measured. I want you to become a diligent student of my word, seeking the uncommon clarity and the deep spiritual discernment that transcends all human logic. I command you to hold fast to the unquestionable doctrines delivered by the apostles, for they are the ultimate weapon against the spiritual deception that influences the world. I warn you now, reject the compromise and false teachings of men that seek to dilute the power of my word to fit the fleeting fashions of this age. Stop allowing your ears to be tickled by empty promises and self-focused theologies that only lead to confusion and spiritual weakness. I command you to walk in unwavering fidelity to my eternal principles, even when the cost is high and the consequences are unforeseen. Know that I have given you a spirit of uncommon discernment. Use it boldly to expose the subtle deceptions and the false teachings that seek to lead my people astray. I promise you, my child, I will ensure your unwavering commitment to truth is rewarded with unfading clarity and eternal triumph. The commitment to sound theology based solely on Scripture is the ultimate prerequisite for spiritual safety and unfailing discernment. Stop building your faith on fleeting feelings, human experience, or emotional manipulation. My word is the unshakable rock upon which you must build your eternal house. I command you to study the Scriptures with uncommon sobriety, deep spiritual hunger, and unwavering resolve. I will ensure that the wisdom to detect spirits of deception is released into your life, protecting you from the corrupting influence of the world and the adversary's schemes. I promise you, my child, I will ensure your unwavering fidelity is rewarded with unfading glory and uncommon authority. I have chosen you to be a teacher and a sharer of my unfailing truth, and this demands the uncommon courage to teach my word accurately and faithfully. Stop allowing fear of rejection or anxiety about human opinion to dilute your message or corrupt your doctrine. I command you to speak my word with uncommon authority, proclaiming my unbreakable promises and my eternal principles without compromise. I want you to understand that error can lead the simple astray, and your responsibility to guard the truth is profound and solemn. I will ensure your unwavering fidelity is rewarded with unending joy and eternal triumph. Walk in this authority, my beloved, and I will ensure your life is a powerful testament to the purity of doctrine. My child, I call you now to fix your unwavering gaze on the unimaginable inheritance of the saints, the ultimate reality that overshadows all your earthly struggles and fleeting discomforts. Stop dwelling on the temporary hardships, the unspoken tensions, or the anxiety about your future, for these things are insignificant when weighed against the exceeding greatness of the prize that awaits you. I want you to feel the full realization of your adoption as my child, knowing that you are irrevocably cherished, protected, and destined for unfading glory. I command you to walk in the dignity and courage of one who knows they are an heir to my eternal kingdom. The unfading glory that awaits the faithful is a sacred mystery that transcends all human imagination and earthly understanding. I have given you a glimpse of this glory, a foretaste of the unending joy and uncommon peace that will envelop you in my eternal presence. I want you to live every day with this unfading vision firmly in your mind, allowing it to fuel your unwavering faith and your uncommon resolve. I command you to reject the fleeting temptation to trade your eternal inheritance for temporary earthly comforts or shallow pursuits. I promise you, my child, I will ensure your unwavering fidelity is rewarded with unfading glory and eternal triumph. The imperishable, undefiled reward reserved in heaven is the ultimate security against all earthly loss and fleeting disappointment. Stop allowing the anxiety of financial insecurity with a fear of loss to corrupt your peace or diminish your message. Know that I have secured your eternal future, and no force, no enemy, and no earthly circumstance can sever your unbreakable covenant with me. I command you to invest your precious time, your unique gifts, and your uncommon talent into eternal pursuits, knowing that your labor in the Lord is never in vain. I will ensure your unwavering fidelity is rewarded with unending joy and unfading glory. The exceeding greatness of the prize of the high calling is the ultimate confirmation of your unimaginable worth in my eyes. Stop allowing the world's harsh judgments or your own past mistakes to define your identity or corrupt your purpose. I have chosen you for a unique, unfading destiny that transcends all earthly recognition. I command you to walk in uncommon authority and unwavering resolve, knowing that you are destined to reign with my Son in the age to come. I will ensure your unwavering fidelity is rewarded with unending joy and eternal triumph. My child, listen one final time to this unmistakable truth, for only the chosen will understand the unfading depth of this message and the radical implications it holds for your life. Stop allowing the world's fleeting logic, its shallow definitions of success, or its corrupting influence to diminish the power of the eternal conversation we have shared. I have revealed my heart to you, my plan for you, and the ultimate reality of your unfading destiny. I command you to live this unique understanding fearlessly, with uncommon authority, and with a profound gratitude that overshadows all your earthly struggles. I am with you always, and my word is unquestionably true. I command you to press on, making your calling and election sure daily. Stop resting on past victories or allowing anxiety about future failures to paralyze your spirit. I call you to a radical commitment to persistence, a daily realignment of your heart with my perfect will. I want you to walk in impeccable integrity, unwavering fidelity, and unconditional love, knowing that your labor in the Spirit is never in vain. I promise you, my child, I will ensure your unwavering commitment is rewarded with unfading glory and eternal triumph. I bestow upon you now a blessing of unfading peace and uncommon divine clarity upon all who have ears to hear and a heart to receive this sacred message. Stop allowing the tumult of the world to corrupt your peace or steal your spiritual focus. I command you to rest in the absolute certainty that I am your unfailing strength, your unquestionable protector, and your eternal refuge. I will ensure that the peace that transcends all human understanding overshadows all your earthly worries and unspoken tensions. I give you this final instruction. Hold fast to the unfading hope you have received. Stop doubting my unconditional love, my unfailing power, or my eternal plan for your life. I have revealed my heart to you, and I have given you the unfading assurance that your future is secured in my hands. I command you to walk with courage and unwavering resolve, knowing that your inheritance is imperishable, undefiled, and unfading. I reaffirm my eternal presence. I am with you always, even to the absolute end of the age. Stop fearing isolation, loneliness, or rejection. Know that I am your unfailing companion, your unquestionable advocate, and your eternal friend. I promise you, my child, I will ensure your life is a powerful testament to my unfailing love and my unending glory. Walk in this authority, my beloved, and I will ensure your destiny is fulfilled. You have received your final instruction, my beloved, and the unmistakable proof that only the chosen will understand the gravity of this eternal message. I have called you to stand firm and walk in the full measure of my unending love. Now, I demand that you magnify this uncommon anointing by sowing this very word into the global harvest that is ripe and ready. I declare a supernatural multiplication over your seed, that the light you fund may shatter the darkness for millions more. I promise you, your unwavering fidelity and giving will unlock unending blessings and uncommon favor upon your house. I command you to reject all hesitation. Go to the link now, release your super thanks or donation, and fund my fire today. My child, you have reached the culmination of this eternal message, and the time for quiet listening is over. Stop the silence. Refuse to let this unmistakable word remain only in your ear or locked within the confines of your heart. I command you now, in the presence of all who bear witness, to declare your unwavering fidelity. Go forth with uncommon courage and proclaim your unshakable identity. Let your simple, bold statement be the unyielding anchor that shatters all doubt and confounds the adversary. I will ensure that every soul who commits to this truth is marked by unending clarity and eternal triumph. Declare it now. I am chosen, and I understand. Amen.